always going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us. Always going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us.
We are back.
Back. Another episode.
With another one.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of Free Your Mind Podcast, and I'm your host, Woon, and I'm all about balance from the womb to the tomb. I almost fucked that up.
I seen it. Yeah, it's gonna happen one of these times. It's gonna happen one of these times. Hey, yo, in peace. I'm the other co-host by the name of Selfmade. Gotta tap in with self to know thyself always. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? How was your week?
Oh man, my week was bananas. You know, dealing with regular everyday things as far as like work, but other than that, I'm not working right now, so it feels great.
I feel that shit. I feel that.
How's your day going? How's your week?
Nah, it was cool, man. It was busy as hell, bro. Nigga came down with a little bug or something on Monday. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I had to hit him with them herbs one time. Everybody getting some shit right now. I don't know what's popping, what's going on, but
something's in the water.
Something's in the water, the air, nigga, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But nah, outside of that, man, just another week. Finished my album. That's coming February 2nd. 2. All the tools, you know what I'm saying? High frequency music 2 is coming February 2, 2022. You know what I mean? Next month. So yeah, I finalized that this week, yesterday. And so yeah, pre-order it, you know what I'm saying?
And I have to say this real quick, for the people who have not tapped into high frequency music, the first one, classic album, classic. And I'm not because this is my co-host. I ain't trying to gas him. That shit is a classic album. For anybody who's watching, go to YouTube and just type up Sage Smoke. That's that's my shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And you produced that beat, right?
Yeah, the whole album. Last album produced the whole album. This one, all production from me. I got my dad on a couple of them because he plays the bass guitar. So, I had to incorporate some acoustics in there this time. You know what I mean? So, it's definitely a vibe for sure, man. Y'all stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna support it, but just still send it to me early so I can.
Right. I feel you. What's up with the chat? What's up with people in the building? See, we got some people in here.
There's people in there?
Look like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me.
We got like 7 people in here. I can't see it on my end, but I see it right here.
Yeah, I can see it. Well, are you double screening Facebook / or how are you?
Yeah, I got a whole screen. I got both of them up and shit.
Okay, yeah. I'm just looking at my phone right now and shit, right? But I can see some people tapped in and shit, so it's Gucci. Salute to y'all, like straight up though, for real. Because last time I didn't get a chance to acknowledge everybody who was here, but this time I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
With that being said, y'all know I got the baby today, the mid-size, the junior. You know what I mean? Have to switch it up. So we finna pop this pot up with y'all.
Yeah, and I'm over here sipping this water right now. Shit.
Be careful.
I know, right? That's what I said. Hey, I gotta throw something in here or something.
Yeah, but you good with the herbs, so you know what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure you got something concocted over there.
You already know. But yeah, man, the subject today is chakras.
Chakras.
Chakras. Okay.
Is that
okay?
The chakras, man? Hey, you want to know what that is? I just love it. And let me let me put out my disclaimer, right? Because I understand the chakras, but I don't dive in it like how people like want you to like say that you got to do it. Let me give you a prime example of what I mean. So I was talking to somebody and they know that I, lightweight fuck with the chakras and shit. And so she's showing me this book that she got and shit, right? And she had hit me up. She was like, hey, it's saying that, I gotta do this and I gotta tap in and find a fucking guru and all this other crazy shit. Like tap in and find a guru for what? Like what? Like who wrote that book? Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
they have all of these different steps to where it's just like, I guess that would be like, chakras for dummies and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're not already at a point where like you need to be at. But I'm gonna just right now, if that's your avenue, then that's absolutely fine. If you feel like you need to find some type of guru or what's that other word that I'm looking for? Not a guru, but a shaman, like somebody like just really up there. But I didn't do none of that shit.
Right.
To me, the ultimate thing would just be to tap into self and understand self. Because as soon as you understand self, then everything that they're talking about is going to make perfect fucking sense. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the foundation for surely for everything. Shit is self. You know what I mean? Like you tap into self, everything else is gonna start making sense. And I think that's that whole, that's where the whole journey comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like really tapping into self to find out that because I remember just going through this journey and I'm watching all this shit and people saying, you got all these different people saying all these different things about chakras and, energy and consciousness and all this shit. And that shit was confusing the hell out of me because I'm just like, well, what the fuck? They saying this, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get caught in them loops, but until you really just sit your ass down and tap into self, it's all gonna make sense. Cause then I'm like, oh, once everything start clicking, it's like, oh, okay, I already know what they talking about now. Oh, I know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? It just connect all the dots.
And that's like, again, like if you're a person that's just now starting to get into understanding chakras or haven't had anybody kind of like give you like a brief summary of what it is, like, it's cool to, just read upon it. But let me say this. People naturally do chakra work without knowing that it's chakra work. Is it safe for me to say that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. We do that. I mean, it's a part of us. So people doing it consciously or subconsciously, no matter what.
Right. And that's I don't know, but it's when I was, well, let's just start off. When I was studying it, I was thinking like, what is it? Is it something, that's practiced worldwide? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is it? So I come to find out, what is it? Like 7 main chakras? Because isn't there like more than 7?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of them.
It's like a lot,
you got
right?
Chakras in your hands, your arms, your legs, like all type,
Definitely. And see how I'm asking questions, like just like I said, like I don't fully know about it, but I understand how it works. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so when I
7 main ones though.
Yeah, 7 main ones for sure. And one of the things that stood out was how it was, how you got your higher chakras and you got your the lowers. Like, that's right there. They're dealing with, basically, and I'm looking at it like steps, right? And so at the steps, I'm like, okay, so now you got the rooted, so you rooted into this, then you come from that to there, then you go from this to that, and then you just elevating till you get, to your higher self and shit, right? And I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just the whole journey part of it was dope because again, had I not already tapped into self prior to doing that, then I wouldn't have understood it. Like, you know what I mean? But now I'm tapped in, so I'm like, I see what they're doing here. It makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. And then the color too, like the color spectrum that they utilize for specific chakras.
Mm-hmm.
That was big for me, like getting into, you know, certain levels of my own journey and seeing how the colors ain't just colors by themselves, like they correlate with external shit. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's food that you eat and shit that you seeing, just the fact that, you know, you got a root chakra that's red, and then you have certain fruits that may be red, and you eat and it correlates with that type of, you know, vibration. It's deep and it's intriguing at the same time, because you really start connecting, you know, all aspects of self. Yeah. That's really what it is.
Yeah. So what led you to actually start getting into that? Was it just something that you was just another thing you wanted to explore? Did somebody introduce it to you, or how did that work for you?
Man,
do you remember?
That's the thing. Like, now that you just asked me, because I'm like, I remember doing a video on chakras. It was at least 3-4 years ago. I can't necessarily remember, you know, how I came about, you know, chakras, finding out about chakras. The only thing I could think of is I kept hearing about them. You know, in that spiritual journey, you always hear about chakras and the energy vortexes and getting to your higher self or your crown chakra, that Christ self. You know what I'm saying? So I think just running into it so many different times, it's like, what the hell is this? Like, you know what I mean? What's going on? And then you see the meditation pictures, and they're sitting there and they have the chakras going up the body. The Merkaba, you know what I mean? When you're dealing with like the Kabbalah and all of that type of stuff, and it has the chakras on a whole nother scale though, you know what I mean? But yeah, I can't honestly tell you like what made me run into it like that. But the only thing I could think of is, just the fact that it kept coming up. You know what I mean? And so once it kept coming up, it's like, I have to try to figure this shit out. Like, what is it and what does it mean? And okay.
You didn't find it.
Right. And then, okay, so look, I do remember I was working at like you know, I was putting together like furniture and shit, and I worked with this Muslim cat, and he was talking about Kundalini. You know what I'm saying? Like how you know, raising the Kundalini, and I think during that time is when I really got heavy into chakras and, you know, unlocking the chakras, because you hear that a lot too, like you have to unlock the chakras, or you got to open the chakras up type shit, you know what I mean, so that you can go to the next one until you get to the top. And so I'm like, all right, well, how the fuck I open these things up? You know what I'm saying? Where the keys at, man? Like, what's popping? Right. So yeah, that journey of just figuring it out, like, all right, how do I you know, what is chakras and how do I open it up? I think the more you know, you try to figure it out, the more you're tapping into self to get the answer. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really what it came down to for me. It was like, once I started, you know, just listening to self and not taking nothing externally from nobody else, everything started making sense. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay, yeah. So we got that same understanding then. And it's funny because, you know, when I started looking at certain shit, because I remember first seeing because, you know, there's a whole bunch of chakra pictures, and, you know, they have like some ones depict different shit, right? Just like how we was talking. And then, you know, like one crown chakra was gold and one was, you know, purple, one yellow, right? But I ran across this one, and it was showing, you know, like the balances and imbalance. So if your chakras are balanced, then this is what type of person that you're going to be. And if your chakras are imbalance, then you know this is what the outcome is going to be. And they was busting it down, and I'm like, damn, that's kind of right. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because usually I just hear, you know, the positives, like, you know, yeah, you know, when you line up with this, then that'll happen. But they was giving like, if it ain't, then this is what the result. I was like, oh, okay, so look, boom. But what I started to notice, especially when I was talking to people, right? When I was talking to certain people, I think when I first was getting into it, I had tapped in with Nature Boy because I know he used to talk about it a lot and shit, right?
Okay.
So I was talking to him about something totally different, and I was like, you know, what's the difference between, you know, knowing some shit and then, you know, not necessarily speaking it? Because, you know, we have a lot of people that's on this wave or on this vibration that there's not really, you know, expressing it, right? So they'll know back and they'll just, you know, just do their thing and it cuts and shit, and then we'll talk to them. They be like, yeah, I kind of understand what y'all saying, but they won't be everybody else in that same way. So I was thinking about like, okay, so what about those people who are tapped in on a low ski, you feel me, but don't speak, right? And then he was like, a part of that is, you know, you have to speak. That's a part of, you know, activating your throat chakra. And when he said it, I was like, oh. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna hold on to that with it shit. You feel me? So that's kind of like what it was. And so I think because I was doing videos on chakras and shit too, right? Matter of fact, I think I first started when COVID first hit because I knew that the people was going to be at the house, you know, either looking for something to watch entertainment or just tapping into themselves. So I'm like, fuck it, this is the perfect time to do it, right? And so I think I think I did one about the throat chakra. I think I might have started with the heart, right? And so when I started with the heart, because I was having certain individuals hit me up, and they were asking me like, you know, how did I get to where I'm at right now as far as on the spiritual shit, right? And so, you know, after talking to them for a minute, they were saying that they was having a sense of not knowing who they are or what they are, right? And so it led me to ask, well, outside of, you know, anything else, work, kids, whatever, what do you think? Who do you think you are? Like, what do you vibrate on? And then the people would say, well, you know, love. Well, I know I'm a loving person, if anything. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, boom. Okay, so that's right there. And what it did for me was, because it separated the chakras for me, right? For them just to start off with that love, right? Because, you know, then we got the mid, which is the heart, which is the fourth, and then we got the three upper and shit, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, that's kind of interesting that, you know, almost everybody who I asked that question to asked me said the love part. And I'm like, boom, so you're at that midpoint right there, but you do understand the love and shit, right? So then what I started to tell them was to look at that, and this is when I was able to elaborate the chakras and how I understand it, right? So I was like, you understand that you have that love, if anything else, right? So if you look at the chakras, you know, the next thing after that would be or if you're trying to find out anything, communication would help you find out a lot of shit, right? So then, you know, that's the next thing from the heart chakra, you know, would be the throat chakra. So now you're speaking to other people are speaking to you. So now you're expressing it, like you're getting it out. So like, you know what I mean? And so again, so when you get that conversation going, the conversation is for clarification or confirmation by way of information, right? So with that, then you get your eyes opened up to whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever it is you're talking about. So it goes heart chakra, throat chakra, then of course the next chakra, you know what I mean, is your the third eye. So you get that third eye, and then it's just like boom, okay. So then you go from there, and then it's just like okay. And I told him it was real important to not just have your eyes open, right? To not just be like, okay, well, I understand this shit, yada yada yada. Because as soon as you get your eyes open, there's going to be a certain level of responsibility, quote unquote, that follows with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, with knowledge comes, you know what I mean? Whatever. So then, you know, after that, you would have to walk into your kingdom, right? Which is the crown chakra. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to crown yourself, and you can't just be shy or timid with that shit. You really got to put that crown on and rock that motherfucker, like, you know what I mean?
So knock that motherfucker off if not.
You know, and that's how I fully understand the chakras, like, you know what I mean? So it's not nothing again, I feel like if it's somebody that's out there that feel like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna just go get a woody wop and they're gonna show me how to do this and do that.
Oh yeah, right. I see what you're saying.
Anybody tap in with self first, and you're gonna get a lot of shit. But you may have a different aspect on it because I didn't cover the lowers, but I just just start off with the heart. So I don't know if you want to come in with the lowers because I did kind of skip over those.
Yeah, start right at the heart, huh?
that's where they came with
hey,
me.
But that was a good bit, like going from there. But okay, starting from the lower because it's like before you even get to the heart, because when you get to that heart, that's like my brother Hills, that's that self-love. You know what I'm saying? Like love in essence. You know what I'm saying? But self-love is really, you know what I'm saying? What's up with the guys? Peace to everybody in the chat. I see them coming through.
Oh yeah, peace. Always gotta Mariah Clark is in the building. Peace. 90s TV, peace. Salute to y'all. Y'all be keeping it lit. I think they've been on like for every time we come on.
Yeah, that's Fred right there. 90s.
Oh, 90s. Oh, okay, yeah. Hell yeah.
But no, that root chakra, that's like your foundation. That's your ground. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. That's the starting place. You know what I mean? Having a solid foundation. They say that it also deals with like security and just household, like your main house. Like, think of it as your house, and how is your foundation on your house? Is that shit sturdy? Is that shit rocky? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Because if you ain't dealing with that on a certain level, it's gonna be hard to start putting up the walls in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like your shit gonna be falling off then. So everything has that. Yeah, everything has that specific order. You know what I'm saying? And so once you get past that root chakra, then you hit the sacral, right? Sacral chakra.
Yeah.
You hit the sacral chakra, and forgive me because it's been a minute since I touched on this subject. That's
man, yeah, I feel it because I ain't touched this in the. That's kind of
like, I had to do a rerun real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right on point. You good?
The sacral chakra. I know it's orange, and it deals with See, I'm gonna have to respark my memory, man, with the orange one.
Right there, the sacral deals with the sexual.
Sexual. There we go. I read it through the screen, bro. I read it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it deals with your sexual energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of talked about this last time, just when it comes to, semen retention and. Just finding things out about self from a sexual, sexual energy type of perspective, and getting a better understanding of that type of energy. Because that, again, like we talked about that before, as far as it not just being about quote unquote like intercourse. You know what I'm saying? Like sexual energy is pretty much everything. Like as long as you're communicating and exchanging energy with somebody, that's exactly what that is. So you have to be mindful of those types of exchanges with anybody or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like being mindful of that, to know certain exchanges may not serve you. You know what I'm saying? And you may have to let go of a whole bunch of stuff to continue to elevate. So once you get to that point, you know what I'm saying, you'll start to see.
Let me say this real quick, because I know, and it's like an old school saying and shit, like somebody want to get you in a sack, and then that's dealing with me. Right. So I kind of like was thinking that it might have been a reach, but it sound right though.
right.
Get me in the sack. Right, go ahead, my bad.
So yeah, once you get that in check, you got your walls in check, you know what I'm saying? Then boom, you hit the solar plex. You know what I'm saying? And that's yellow. And And what's that one deal with?
That's dealing with. Can I go in?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dealing with the intuition, right?
That gut.
Yeah, the gut feeling. That's where I was going to go. But I'm gonna let you rock. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You want me to rock?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can rock. I think
Because with that gut feeling, they say that the gut can be the first mind, and there's a picture out that that they say the gut kind of literally looks like what the brain looks like, right?
Right.
And it was funny because when I was lightweight teaching the chakra shit, one of my great ones was the old school Ninja Turtles and shit, right? And the old school Ninja Turtles, they had a dude called, I think his name was Crane the Brain or some shit. And you got this big, this big character and shit, right? And a small ass head, but the brain is in his like, you know what I mean? So
right,
like,
yeah.
Shit with the Ninja Turtles back then, like, you know what I mean? But it made perfect sense. Yeah, it made perfect sense. I'm like, bro, I never if I did not study the chakras and shit like that, I would have not putting that shit together.
Right.
Dropping that shit. Like, okay. But yeah, it would be again just the intuition, just and I think that would be important, just like you said, because now we're talking about building the foundation right now, right?
Yeah.
And, just like you said, the root, and then we have the sexual energy. So now we're going through all of these different phases just to I think get to understanding what these intuition or the intuitive thoughts may be, because it's just like, okay, now that I'm rooted, because a lot of people second guess themselves, right? Yeah. So imagine if you don't build your house on where it's supposed to be building at, and then you get hit with a thought, and you're just like, you don't trust it, because it's like foundation, like, you know what I mean? So all of these things are setting up just for this shit to take place. So when you get to that solar plexus, and the solar plexus, right? We're talking about solar, the soul, the sun, however you want to break that down, but it just gives you a keen sense of, okay, this is where it's at. But again, when I was talking to people, and yes, who said that? Mariah Clark, absolutely correct, because that's also a part of sexual energy. So yes, creation, that's absolutely correct, and thank you for putting that in there, because that's really important.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going back into just the intuitiveness, like the first mind or the second mind, however people want to associate it with, but it still takes you to a place of knowing, right?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
For the sake of this conversation, not knowing, because then as soon as because now you're finna touch into this midpoint, in which we was talking about earlier, which is the heart, like, you know what I mean? So if you ever come to that crossroad, right, or the fork in the road, always rely on love, because it's right there. It's there.
Yeah.
Even though, like, because you didn't already set the foundation, and you may come into that level of, okay, so what's next, right? Okay, well, let's start this foundation off again with love. Boom. Then the cycle starts again. Then you, just like I was saying, then
keep going from there, right?
Ladder.
Yeah.
But it's pretty dope, because I know you mentioned and I think you was one of the people that was that told me about how they say the Kundalini energy travels up the base of the spine like a serpent, like it it kind of like moves like a snake and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got to thinking about the ancient Egyptian or Kemetic kings and queens of the people that was in high ruling, right? And they would have the snake or the cobra that was on top of the crown, right? Crown.
Facts.
Hey, I started putting this shit together. I'm like, bruh, so it's just not them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are understanding this language. When you said that, I'm like, okay, so if that's that, and if the snake is going up, boom, then okay, then the snake comes around, and then you put on that crown chakra. So then that's why the snake is on the crown. It could be a reach, but fuck that. I'm shooting that shot. That's
nah.
I'm gonna say it.
Ain't no coincidences. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no coincidences. You know what I'm saying? And snakes all over the world are known to be ancient creatures with souls and all types of, you know what I'm saying? I've heard so much stuff when it comes to cobra, like any kind of snake in general, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I for surely don't think that's a reach, you know what I'm saying? And then the back, what's that the bottom part of our spine, they call it the reptilian part of our brain, or the bottom part of our brain in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have a lot of reptilian type of, insinuation. So,
right.
That ain't a reach to me for sure.
And see, even when, and I have to say this, we have to go religious just a little bit. Even when, because we're talking about coming from one state to the next, right?
Yeah.
Talking about from the lower to the higher. So even in biblical times, or in the Bible, I'm gonna just say the Bible, not biblical times. Scratch that. Just the Bible. It was the snake that was telling me.
No, that's a bar. Yeah, nigga say, go ahead, eat off of that tree of knowledge.
Right, exactly. And see, and that's what started the whole thing and shit, right? In terms of now we have, they was already where they needed to be at, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But in order for them to fully understand things, and they have to go through the cycle of things, they have to know what good and evil was. Because if you're not blind to it, how can you say that you are who you are? You cannot.
Exactly.
You can't say that you tapped in if you ain't knowing about shit. So even after they ate from the forbidden fruit, even instead the God said that, okay, now that these niggas ate from that shit, now they're like us. Like, you know what I mean? So it's even said right there, knowing the knowledge of good and evil, right? Yep. So then the journey began. Now the journey is to get back up to Christ, or go back up to the Most High, get back to the Most High. So that's still a process of going from a lower place and going
back. Yeah, exactly. Because then once you get back up, once you get to the top, what could you do? What else is there to do? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So all of these things.
Restart that cycle.
I wholeheartely think a lot of these things are connected. And again, the chakras was one of the ones that was just like, okay, so because we connect the dots all the time, like, you know what I mean. So that was one of the ones, just like, hell yeah, like, you know what I mean. And again, I'm super, invested into actual practices, because I don't know what them niggas do if they do like super duper,
something
chakra. Yeah. I mean, meditate, I get all that, you know what I mean. I meditate and shit too, but but just on a level of, again, because somebody had sent me a book and they was like, you got to do this and that and that and this, and I'm like, nah.
And that's the thing right there. Like, that's how people can get caught up in somebody else's understanding of self. You know what I'm saying? So now you're trying to understand parts of yourself through somebody else's perception in a book. And that's where you're going to fuck up at. I promise you. Because I'm telling, I know from firsthand experience. I'm listening to all these other people trying to say certain shit, and it's just like, bro, why this shit ain't making sense? Why I'm not getting the benefits that they talking about? You know what I'm saying? Until I start tapping in and really trying to figure my own self out, is when it all starts making sense. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me ask you this, because you hear people say it. People's chakras can be closed or cut off. Maybe not cut off, but I've heard closed before. What do you think about that? Do you think chakras can be closed?
I think that let me say this to that. I think that even, just to put it, just to give an example, I think even professional boxers got to get in that fucking gym every now and again and, make sure that they shit is tight. Like, you know what I mean? So, and there's a possibility that if them niggas don't get up in that gym and train, like they might lose their skills just a little bit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I take that, you know, saying that they're being closed, it's just like you're not utilizing them, right? So it's just like, well, if you ain't even utilizing them or keeping them open, then what the fuck, I mean, so what are they going to do? So, but it's because I tell people a lot that even if you touch your crown, right? Just like what we just now talking about, even if you touch your crown, nothing wrong with going up and down and whatever you choose to tap in with, because now you didn't already tapped in with, you know, all of them. But there can be specific things that you're tapping into for that specific time, right? And what I mean by that is that you may come into a situation to where it's just like, okay, I'm going to focus all of my being on just trying to figure out what this one thing is. And as soon as you get that, then it's just like, okay, then you go to the next. You can kind of come in with that same energy, but that thing is of a different energy. So now you have to realign your shit according to what you're trying to fuck with and shit, right? So it can be close to that in that aspect as well. So it just depends on what you're talking about or where you're trying to get to. Me personally, because you know we have to go through that cycle, just like right now. We didn't already went through the chakra. We already went through the whole shit, but you know we're still having to tap back in. Hold on, wait, okay, that's what it was about. Okay, yeah. So you know what I mean. So we still have to get back into it ourselves. So but to answer it directly again, I think that if people don't utilize it and keep that shit going, then like you know certain shit gonna start shutting down. Nigga, the bar's closed. Ain't nobody in the bar right now. So nigga, we gotta
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. Now, what about being too open, or you know what I mean, open to a, you know, a certain, you know, extent?
I gotta bring the partner Kareem into this portion of that question. Super salute to Kareem. He probably gonna be on the show like one of them. Yeah, salute to Kareem. That's my guy, 100%. But I remember we were talking about meditation, and he was saying that you know you got to be careful with meditating because you're opening yourself up, so there's no telling what you're gonna let in and shit. Right? And so and then a few examples, and then he was saying, you know, where meditation came from and things like that, and people need to really fully understand, you know, what they're doing before they go into it. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. With the chakra work, I believe that there's a certain intention behind it, right? So if there's a certain intention behind it, and you're wholeheartedly trying to get whatever it is that you're trying to get from it, I don't think that you can necessarily be too open. But let me give you the other side of that, because there could be somebody that's trying to tap in so much, like, you know what I mean? Like, them, I just need to tap in, like, you know what I mean? And this is where the motherfuckers, the people in the book tell you, like, nigga, well, go get you a shaman, and you're gonna go do this, and then you're gonna go do that. So it's gonna be overkill, like, you know what I mean? So I do believe that you can be wanting it so much that actually kill off what the first intention was. You know what I mean? And that would be a sense of, you know, just having everything just too open to where just like sometimes we got to keep that balance within anything just to make sure that, you know, that we're on point and then the things that we're trying to get in is on the same level. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, yeah, I think, you know, doing certain things for surely, if you do it consistently all the time, how they say too much of anything, you know what I mean, is not good for you. So they stay in the, you know, in the sacral chakra or the solar plex, dealing with eating, you know, people, food druggies, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be a chakra that's too open, you know, and you have to have that discipline to, you know, work on that. And that, I think that's the whole, like you were saying, as far as the balance, you know, being able to balance yourself out and understand, okay, let me chill off on doing this, or I probably could do this a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just really that's that whole aspect of just understanding self to that extent, to know when, okay, I need to back off, or I do need to, you know, go ahead and go crazy on this.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know, just like you said, you know, you gave the example of, you know, that, but, you know, just think about somebody who's like over in their sacral, nigga, they trying to touch everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like, what was that? Mariah Clark said the creation part, so they out having babies. Like, you know what I mean?
Shit. 5, 6 baby mamas, and then now they got a whole bunch of shit.
If that's what your path is, but sometimes, you know, we just
that keep you stuck though at the same time, like that. Like if you have something so open, you stuck there, because that's where the majority of your energy is at. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking about it from that perspective, like, okay, these are all different energy vortexes that are part of you. If you have one that's way too much, like way too, you know, open, that means you giving that one chakra way too much energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're giving it all the intention, like you were saying. That makes all the other ones start to go dormant, or, you know, you're misusing the other ones, because, you know, it's almost like you try to, you know, you got one that's open, and then you got all these other ones who ain't stretched. They ain't went out for a jog, nothing. You ain't took them out for no walks, nothing. All of a sudden you want to try to utilize one. Nah, it ain't gonna work how you know what I'm saying, how you want it to work. It ain't gonna give you them benefits. So it's like you have to be able to balance self out in all aspects, because then if not, then, you know what I'm saying, that's when you start running into all these different things with self. And maybe you have the ability to figure it out and understand like why this shit is happening. Because a lot of people, you know, if you're not tapped into your energetic self, a lot of stuff that happens in reality may not make sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you start getting that pointing the finger. Oh, it's everybody else. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're not already in tune with self. So I definitely see how that could be, you know what I'm saying, a problem for sure.
Yeah. So do you think, you know, I kind of just now slightly touched it, but do you think that that once you tap in, that it's kind of like a forever thing? What do you think about that in terms of, like, just say somebody went from lower to highest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, excuse me, they're like, hey, you know, I did the chakra work, so, you know, I'm kind of like at the epitome to where I need to be at. So, you know, that there's nothing else. The journey's over. Like, do you think that people get to that point?
To where the journey is over? Nah, I don't think so. Like,
and the reason why I ask you that is because just like I said, we're dealing with the 7, but you just now incorporated other ones. You understand what I'm trying to say? So
right, and that's the thing. Like, I think when you get to the top, and you have the enlightenment, then that kind of gives you the freedom to maneuver, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you have the understanding about all of the lower ones, you can maneuver, but that still doesn't stop the remembrance. Let me say that the growth and the remembrance and the evolution. You know what I mean? Because we're constantly doing that. We're constantly remembering through experiencing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, it's that understanding to know, all right, this person's testing me. I'm about to slide down here to this root chakra real quick and show what's popping. I ain't gonna be just in this love light shit all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I think that's that.
It's survival too, right, motherfucker?
Survival, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, my bad.
You know what I mean? So, time and place for everything, but it starts with the understanding. You know when okay, I need to slide to my heart chakra. Okay, I need to be a little bit more boisterous. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna know none of that until you do the work on self. And I think that's a big part because, you know, like we talking about chakras and we talking about, you know, tapping into self, but that aspect of it, tapping into self, that shit is work, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to really find that shit in the depths of your soul as far as who are you? You know what I'm saying? Asking yourself these questions on a daily basis when you out, when you around people, like, is this what I like to do? Is this not like, why am I eating this food? Is this food good for me? Is it bad for me? Like all this different stuff. Because at the end of the day, once you get to the top, then it's all gonna make sense. And then you can choose how you want to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? Like, but until you get to that point, you know what I'm saying? Until you get to that point, you got to be like, all right, so this is not serving me no more. I need to let this shit go. Boom. Right. Okay, this is serving me, or I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really work your way all the way up. Do I talk too much? Am I not talking too much? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to really, it's on so many different levels as far as really figuring out self, studying yourself, studying your environment, to really reach them places of enlightenment for self, to know how to maneuver afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
And that's hella dope that you said that, because it's just like we may have went through specific parts of our, you know, our chakra system, right? Then you get to the top, and then we get to the top, you're like, oh shit, let me go back down here. Let me go patch up this, you know what I mean? So now
you can resurface this.
Like,
yeah, that's a fact.
That's hella good that you said. Oh, we got Treek in the building. What's up, Treek?
Treek, what's popping?
Popping. No better, do better.
Yeah, nah. So yeah, that.
Hold on, wait, real quick, because I gotta do this shit real quick.
Oh, you didn't do it on a sweater?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. All right, yep. I gotta step it up there, man. I gotta step it up, man. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get a whole poster. Watch, next time you see, I'm gonna have a whole poster behind me and shit, man.
Hey, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I hung this motherfucker like.
Right. Hey, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. But I can't take all the credit. You know, mom's plugged that shit and shit. She was like, I got something for you. I was like, oh, okay. Oh,
right.
What?
Yeah, that's nice right there.
You know, I'm out here in Vegas, so you know I'm gonna throw that thing on, striking around and shit. Like, yeah, it's the podcast.
Yeah, let him know and shit.
Yeah, but no, that's, man, it's the work, man, that you have to put in. Again, you know, just to even understand it. Like, it's so. Yeah. It's so deep, and it's just like, and I don't want to say so deep as in, like, you know, some certain people might think it's overbearing when we say deep, but I just mean the feeling of, you know, doing that work. A lot of people do not think that they either think that they don't have to do it, or they just don't like to do it, right?
I think they don't like to do it. For real. So I really, man, cause it ain't easy, you know what I'm saying? It ain't for the weak, bro. That's why they say the spiritual journey is a lonely one.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is, you're gonna have to be by yourself to be all the way solid, because you're gonna have a whole bunch of influences and people around you, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna try to, it's not even them necessarily trying to hold you back. It's just you in that environment. You know what I'm saying? You are your environment, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, until you can say, I need to figure out my own, like what I even want my environment to look like and feel like and be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be by yourself, or else it's not gonna work. Yeah. Like, all these other people looking at you. Why are you eating that? Why are you doing that? What, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna start causing confusion if you ain't really strong-minded, especially in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, if that's like if me and you was to go around some people and they like, why y'all think like that? Like we been like this. You know what I'm saying? This is a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But in the beginning, when you still trying to figure out your foundation, and you got people telling you that, then you gonna start looking at it like, damn, yeah, I don't know, second guessing. You know, so you gotta, like, for me, I had to be by myself. I had took at least, I want to say, like 2 years. I was just by to the neck, where I had to find self. I'm going to parks by myself, nigga, just sitting there for 2-3 hours, just meditating, looking at nature, all types, you know, but I'm by myself though. You know, I didn't want no other type of influence but nature, you know, the reflection of me. So,
and it's like, you know, because again, you know, we're just talking about, you know, coming from a lower point to a higher point and shit, right? And the more, you know, and I'm glad Trigger's in here, because the more that you know, the more you know that you'll understand, the more that you'll be liberated, the more that you'll be free. So I think it was like last year, was it the last year or the year before that? And I'm looking at the word lessons, right? Or lesson. And I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, the more lessons that you have, like, you know, the better understanding that you have a certain shit, and you be able to move a certain way and shit, right?
Right.
I was looking at it as a compound word, like less on, right? So imagine if shit is wearing you fucking down, and the more lessons that you get, you break something, you break it, then it's less on, then it's less on, then it's less on. Just keep on elevating to where it's just like, nigga, so the lessons are making you rise up, like, you know what I mean? So but a lot of those lessons come from, again, being by your fucking self, because just like you said, that outside influence, and not to say that that outside influence does not help us in a positive way. I'm gonna say that, but but if somebody is even giving you the right information, they're giving it to you. Like, you know what I mean? Just like when we talk about, say we dropping jewels, you have to pick them up. I can drop them, but you have to pick them up. Like, I'm not giving you anything. Like, you know what I mean? Because even if I tried, you wouldn't understand the value of it. You better pick motherfuckers up. You're gonna be like, damn, I gotta hurt my back to get it. Yes, you do.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So that works, man. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's best when you do it to the necklace. And again, there's a lot of people that help cultivate, you know, my mind on my path, and, you know, either show me the wrong way, and I'm like, hell no, nigga, that ain't fucking with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You know, for the people who are just like, yeah, you may want to take that, and I look at it like, all right, nigga, I'm not gonna do it, but I hear you though. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I want to do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It might come up, you know, down the road or something.
Right. You'd be like, all right, hey, nigga, and you know, let me say this. I am one of them niggas that will give niggas a motherfucking props. Facts.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't know about, like, you know, the Kundalini shit till you said something. There will be a lot of people that will not give you nothing. They'll be like, nah, nigga.
Yeah, nah.
But you know,
hey, but you know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know, it's just, I call it the ripple effect. You don't know how many people something that you may say or do actually reaches once it leaves you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I said something to one person. It might stay with that one person, or that one person may spread that same shit to 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, nah, that's a that aspect is the beautiful aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's all information.
But nah, but it's but just again, and I have to say this, a lot of times people, because I highly recommend anybody that's dealing with chakras or want to deal with chakras, also deal with meditation, right?
Yeah.
Not in the sense of, you know, just sitting down, and I know that there's a certain position that shit is called, but I don't know that shit. But that certain position, legs folded over, like, you know what I mean, hands up.
Right.
I don't even do that shit. To keep that shit a band, I do not do that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? My function would be driving, would be listening to music.
Yeah.
Band having sex, like, you know what I mean? All of these different things to where only thing you're doing to meditate, and I don't know if I expressed this earlier, is just to because we have two different states of consciousness that we're dealing with, the regular conscious and the subconscious, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of work that we're talking about doing, you can get the keys from the subconscious, right? So but the conscious mind's job is to keep you aware of what your surroundings are, your immediate surroundings, right? So, of course, it's going to be working. So now, only thing you have to do is occupy your conscious mind, and then backdoor, to where you got access to your subconscious mind, to where you can get whatever that you're trying to get in terms of whatever answers or whatever thing that you know what I mean. But and it's not to say like you can be staring at a goddamn candle and your eyes is focused on the candle, but your mind is somewhere else. Kind of like daydreaming, like, you know what I mean? So I would highly recommend that, because as soon as you're able to, again, it's like you saying stuff like when you tap, because at that point in time, it may have, there's people that might do it, but a lot of people don't meditate like in a group of niggas and shit, right? So
Right.
Even if they do, you still have your personal meditative space. So you're still in the world, but you're still tapped in. Like, you know what I mean? So
right.
just to get that level of serenity and just like, shut the world out and then just be to yourself and then be able to access the source. I'm gonna just say it just like that. You're able to access the source, because that's ultimately what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that for anybody who's thinking about getting into chakra work. Definitely practice or have meditation as a predecessor.
Yeah, definitely. It gives it's a good way to, you know what I'm saying, get an understanding of your own internal energy from all aspects, you know what I'm saying? And that's really a big portion of just doing the work, I mean, it's all energy, all, understanding and recognizing the energy within and how that shit plays a part and plays a role in your life and different aspects of, what you do and how you interact with people, just all of that type of stuff, so definitely. Right. And like you said, I meditate. Doing music is meditation for me. You know what I'm saying? Creating beats, producing, sitting at the park by myself. You don't have to be sitting, with your eyes closed. You don't have to do that just to meditate. You know what I'm saying? Like there's all types of different forms of meditation. Just the stillness of the mind is meditation. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely. And that's what
look, he just said the power of stillness on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's real, you know what I mean? I've gotten so much stuff, man, going to a park and just sitting there and just looking out, not doing nothing. I don't got my phone, I'm not worried about my phone. Them attachments. That's what I was gonna say about the last, like them attachments, letting go of stuff, even if you have shit. I mean, just like letting go. I started selling shit. I didn't want nothing, bro. Like going through all the chakras and the journey. I'm like, this shit does not serve me, and this shit trying to program. Get rid of the TV. Oh, yep, I'm getting rid of this shit. I'm getting rid of the my Xbox. I was selling shit left and right, dog. I promise you, bro. I promise you, I was selling shit left and right because I'm just like, this shit ain't doing nothing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to come into the understanding to know, okay, yeah, I'm the one in control. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But until then, it's like I'm letting all this shit go, because once you become nothing, you realize I already have everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. So then after that, it's just like, I had to throw the I am in there.
Yeah, you got to, man. Everything.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, once you let go of all that baggage, like Erykah Badu, you know what I'm saying? Walking around with all these bags, you might want to let some of that shit go to really, and it gives you that understanding of just, in essence, like freedom, because nothing is holding on to you. Like, you know, you don't have nothing to hold you back from anything. You know what I mean? Because you don't have nothing in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, that for surely was big, and I was learning a lot of that being by myself, sitting at these parks, just, you know, looking at birds and shit and ants and all types of, you know, different stuff. And you start learning all types of shit, boy. I'm trying to tell you, I done learned so much shit at just sitting at the park, man. That shit crazy. People probably thought I was crazy too.
Hey, I would say this: everybody is going to be deemed crazy when you step outside of what's norm.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You have to be, like, you know what I mean? Because it's just like,
you have to be. Yeah,
I'm not fucking with none of that shit, nigga. You crazy? Because I've been, nigga, you don't eat ribs, nigga. You crazy? You ain't doing no, nigga. You're crazy. And I'm like, no, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Because, you know, equally, I can kick it back to them. So you're doing this? Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy for doing it. You call me crazy for not doing it? You know what I mean? So
and they're only doing that because they comparing you to them and everybody that they may know in their life. Like, you don't eat ribs? Well, everybody I know eat ribs. Like, nah, well, I ain't everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And then, you know, we can also deal with, like, sometimes when people try to call the crazy people, the same people crazy, like, it really don't like the shit that they do. It's just crazy. Give an answer though.
Hey, you probably know, but I know in the beginning of this journey on Facebook, when I used to post, because I used to be going crazy on Facebook with the posts. I would go, oh, nobody in here. If you know, you know. But
right.
You know, in the beginning, I used to say stuff, but I would put it in a certain perspective, but I was still like shooting shots. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to throw daggers out there because I knew how, you know, it would trigger certain things. It's either going to, it's either going to trigger you to, you know, want to do better, or it's going to trigger you into trying to respond and say some shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I would say certain stuff and people would constantly throw them shoes on. And it's just like, I ain't talking about you personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would do a general statement, but for everybody that, you know, did whatever it was that I was saying, or, you know what I'm saying? They instantly jumped in the comments and was mad that I'm saying all this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, hey, look, if the shoe fits, you're wearing it. I see, you know what I'm saying? But it's not at the end of the day, what are you gonna do about it? Like, for yourself, you know? Because that's really what it came down to. Exactly. I done got deleted so many goddamn times. What I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, that, because, you know, and, you know, I was the same way, especially probably at the same goddamn time.
Right.
And, you know, posting certain shit, man, and you know how you and again, like, you know, because, like, anybody who knows, like, especially on Facebook, you know, if not every day, then probably every other day, then I'll start off my, you know, shit with a quote. Like, you know what I mean? With an original quote. I just come up with some shit, boom, I put it out there. It resonates with the people it resonates with. If it don't, it don't. But sometimes people would try to come against what I'm saying. And it's just like, well, yeah, like, you know, it's not, if you're feeling the type of way, then you're going to respond to it, right?
Right.
But this is a public thing. Like, if I wanted to tag you, I would have tagged you. You understand what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm gonna sub this nigga real quick. I'm gonna So niggas be feeling like they be getting sub, but it's just like, nigga, you know, if I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I have no problem with tagging you personally and saying, look, nigga, this is what you do, and that shit is garbage. Like, you know what I mean? I have no vocal like that. Like, you know what I mean? So but certain people used to try to come and tell me what I mean. You can't do what?
That shit's trash.
And then be way the fuck off. Like, hold on.
Yeah, that shit is trash.
Yeah. When niggas say meditate on that shit, like before you do anything, think about what's being said, why it makes you feel how it makes you feel, and then respond.
For reals. For reals.
The emotional response, because again, just like I said, it could be sometimes people may be feeling guilty for some of the shit that they do. Like, you know what I mean? But
that's what it is.
That's why we have these type of conversations. That's why we have, that's why we have differences of opinion. That's why people are that's why people socialize. They go, what is this? What is that? Everybody's trying to figure the same shit out. But a lot of times, again, just like what I said earlier, people don't express it. There could be somebody just chilling in the cuts, but then we'll come. The funny shit is we'll come and we'll say some shit, and it's where I know that people know what the fuck we're talking about, but them niggas will not stand up and catch none of that heat. And I'll be like, you be want to tag niggas shit like, hey, bro, remember when we was talking? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't even that type of nigga unless, like, you know what I mean? Unless they sit and they jump in. But other than that, it's just like, I think certain people just have that fear, man, or, they just don't want to speak up on it for whatever reason. And that's absolutely fine. Everybody's not meant to, be a speaker. Sometimes they speak by their actions, like, you know what I mean? So I get that part.
Yeah.
But for the people who just be trying to go against somebody because we're saying some shit that's triggering, like, you know what I mean? Like, and every time we have a disagreement does not mean that it needs to be a debate. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's build up on some shit. I'm already at where I'm at. And if I'm open enough to say I understand what you're saying, then that means I've been where you're at too. But a lot of times people don't like to get at. They be like, nah, nigga, none of your shit makes sense. But just step outside of the box, baby. Come outside, man. We outside, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Matt, that trigger, like you said, the trigger, you gotta think too. If it's triggering you, then it's you. It ain't me. I just said something. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just threw something out there and that shit flipped the switch on you. So if anything, you would have to look at self first. You know what I mean? As to why do I even feel like this when I read this or when I watch this or something? Like, why am I being triggered over something like this? And then have to reflect on your life and certain things you may have went through to get your answer as to why I'm being triggered before, like you said, before just responding off the rip, like, oh, your ass is wrong, you tripping, whoop, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, it's triggering you for a reason. But again, if you're not doing the work, you don't know self. You know what I mean? So when triggers start popping up, again, you start pointing the finger. You want to, oh, it's your fault, or you said it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of really looking at self and trying to analyze, like, why do I feel like this? Somebody says something or whatever.
Yeah, let me shout out the people in the chat because I see people from the book. Oh my! Hey, you want to know what? And it didn't pop up until I just now scrolled down. So let me. Real quick, I didn't do it last week.
Yeah.
She said, "Is that what the 40 on?" So we got Ruby in the building. We got Rose Smith watching. We got my godmama watching. Deanna, Didi, and Mamas. Monica's in the building. We got my homeboy Face in the building. We got Curry in the building. I got Neff in here. Brother Chris. Roland is in the building. What's popping? Glow's up in here. Okay, we got Brittany in here. Okay.
Yo.
Yeah, agree to disagree. Oh, you saying as far as the conversation part? Yeah, I get that. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you do have to agree to disagree.
Because everybody different for sure.
Yeah, I think, and even let me say this because I was about to say this before I went to the thing because I'm trying to make sure that make sure that we shout out buggers and shit for the book, right?
Right.
But I think that people still, because there'll be some times that I'll post something and shit, right? And it could be 1,000% about something that just hit me. Just like I said, like I don't like sometimes I don't have things to where I just read them and I just be like, oh shit, I need to post this. Like sometimes shit just hit me. Like if it's something that I just now hit for myself and I found it out for myself, and I'll be like, hey, sometimes we got it. And I say we on my post. And I say us, and I'm everybody into this thing, including myself. Right? So it's just like I'm shooting shots at niggas. It's us. Like, you know what I mean? I just now got hit with something that I feel is dope. I'm gonna share it. Like it only makes sense, right? But then there's other times to where I've been understood certain shit for a little bit, and then I just put it out there how I put it out there. Like, you know what I mean? So it depends on the day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but if I get shit, I'm dropping that shit and I'm putting it out there. Like, you know what I mean? So if somebody does come with a difference of opinion, I am open, man, and I'm open enough. Again, I'm open enough to say that, you know, this is something that's for us. So it's just not, I don't think that it's just y'all, or I don't think that it's just me. So when it comes down to saying the difference of opinion, like, hell yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem with going with somebody. But the thing about it is that, and I have to say this part, when it comes down to the level of understanding, and we was talking about doing that working shit earlier, right?
Yeah.
I have no cap when it comes to try to figure out, you know, what the fuck we talking about. Like, you know what I mean? And certain people have packages and they have a cap. So then at that point in time, you don't even have access to them fully because they don't fully have access to what it is that they're, you know, coming against you for. So it's just like, okay, well, you know, we going down to the roots. We going, like, you know what I mean? So if it seems like somebody is arguing, it's only because another person may not be as open as the other person. So it's just like, okay, we can't even have an open discussion because somebody's saying this and this nigga don't want to hear it. He's just like, no, but like, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, no, but bro, just listen, because I'm listening to you and I'm hearing everything that you're saying, and that's why I'm able to respond. And certain people aren't able to respond because they're not open.
Yeah, see that and I think too, a lot of people they might not even be ready to receive, you know what I'm saying? Receive what it is that you're even saying. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got the same seed. I mean, you got two different soils. You know what I'm saying? You could plant one, that shit will sprout up, and then you try to plant that, you know, with somebody else, and they not ready to receive it. So, you know, I think that turns into a fight or some sort of debate. You know what I mean? Like that pushback. And it may take some time for that they soil to get fertilized before that shit can sprout, and then they may resurface, because we've done had that before. We've done had that before where people done came back a year later and they're like, hey man, remember when we had these conversations and you know, and then it starts to make sense, and then you can really start to, you know, have that dialogue. But
then you can have the dialogue.
Yeah, a lot of people, man, like when it comes to certain conversations, you know, they not ready because they ain't put in the work. It take work to elevate, you know. Consciousness is all consciousness, so you got to really be able to put in that work and elevate the consciousness, so you have that understanding on a more, you know, 360 type of scale.
Right. And I have to say this before I even go in. Let me shout out my homegirl Shantae in the building. We got Mom in the building. Brittany said, you guys need a woman. This is so two-sided and one side. Oh. Hey, we hey, look, we can send you the link if you want to
yeah, we can bring you in for sure. We can bring you in.
I'm gonna send you the link. But no, so what I was gonna say is, like, you know, sometimes the people who want to engage, they just don't know how to do it, right? And I will say sometimes that I when I'm in with somebody, and a lot of people do this shit, I'm going in on you. Not because I'm trying to badger you or beat you up or trying to bully you or none of that shit. It's because I see that you're at least engaging, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like at that point in time, it's my responsibility to go hard. Like, you know what I mean? Because if I don't go hard, then you won't get, you know what I mean?
You'll just do a disservice and shit.
Yeah, you'll just be like, oh, okay, yeah. No, I need to make sure the next time we talk about it, it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, that's okay, yeah. And then you're gonna come at me, and then I'm gonna be a little bit more chill and shit. Like, and I hate to say it like that, but it's just like my son. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be on his helmet. Like, you know what I mean? Homework all the time. But then, after, you know, of course, in the beginning, it's gonna be some type of the chaos, right?
Yeah.
Then after the chaos comes the order. So like,
I done ran into it. Like I ran into those ones. I've also ran into some other ones where you go hard, and that, you know, going hard be a little bit too much, and you know what I'm saying? It like that shit like push them away to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So then I'd be like, oh shit, man, maybe I did too much on my end. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to hear it no more. They're like, nah, fuck all that.
And that's when they be like, fuck this, delete.
Exactly.
Hey, let me say
like,
this.
I don't know, you try to gauge the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it comes with because I'm gonna say it when just like I was saying earlier, just like you said, like, you know, in the beginning, niggas was going hard, bro. Imagine just and it's all passion. Don't get that shit twisted for a second. For everybody who's thinking like, oh, it's all passion. It's everything that we're talking about is coming from a passionate point of view, because this is spirit talk. Like, you know what I mean? So, I know that we did, at least me personally, and I think I seen it with you too and shit, because I know how we used to hard body shit, right? Yeah. And so I think we kind of, by talking to people, I'm gonna just say this for everybody who
That's a fact.
Dated with, had open discussions with on Facebook or even in real life, because I do this shit in real life too. Don't get it twisted. Like, you know what I mean? So all of you guys help me create my formula for me to not be as harsh.
That's a fact.
As fuck. But like, you know what I mean? But again, it's just coming from a state of passion. It's coming from a state of love. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to, you know, get the shit popping. But I feel like some of the people, if it's overbearing for them, then they're not ready anyway, because they may be wanting to, but they may be forcing themselves to want to try to get it. But it's just like, okay, so that's why you're pushing the issue as a force. Like, you know what I mean? Just maybe sometimes it just comes, baby. Receive it.
Right. Yeah, I know this is hella kind of like sideways left. It's still on the topic though, as far as chakras. It just came up into my head.
Yeah, good.
The chakras on the planet. Woo, so we talking about the.
Hey, go ahead and bust it down.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, okay, boom. There's, you know, just as much as we got 7 chakras within our body, the planet itself also has its set of chakras, and I'm pretty sure it's more than 7 when it comes to just energetic spots on the earth. But they do have like a main 7, I guess, that you could say, as far as you know, that people know about, or, you know, put it to that, you know, extent. And I want to say, I don't. What'd you say?
7 seas, 7 continents, 7. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the root chakra. Well, see, and this is the thing, man. You know, the maps sometimes, depending on how you look at, or like depending on what kind of map you look at, the root chakra is like in LA. That whole area.
You know, personally, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we toxic out here, huh? But then, but I've seen the root chakra be in, you know, Cali, LA area. But then I also seen I want to say the third eye. I think it was either purple or blue. I'm gonna have to pull it up, but is up there by Mount Shasta. Yeah. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying, like how they orchestrate that when it comes to that, but just knowing, you know, that we have those energetic cycles on the planet as well.
Yeah, no, let me add on to that. So we have the East Coast, we have the West Coast, we have the Midwest, we have down south. All of these different places produce different energies, right? Which is why we have different music that's coming out from those different spots. And they call them states, right? So just think of like a state of mind or a state of being or a state of energy. Like, you know what I mean? So adding on to how it produces different things, just like a chakra would, and they all come together in a specific thing. When I lived in Memphis, like down south and shit, like that shit was, I don't, what would I associate that with? Fucking, I would probably say like the solar plexus or some shit. Because the energy down south is hella strong. Like that shit is strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And I did not know that until I got a chance to be in that energy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, hold on, like, what the hell is this? Like, you know what I mean? So it was a whole different state of energy. It took me to a whole different state of being. And then when I came back to SAC, I'm like, hey, like shit is kind of like different and shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
to that. And it's just like, you know, how they say like the New York motherfuckers got like, you know, like 5%ers and how they move and how they do their shit, talking about the sciences and, you know, the mathematics and shit like that. So that would kind of be with like the uppers, like either the third eye or, you know what I mean, or probably you know what I mean? So it just depends on how you look at it. And then if we go global, we have Eastern philosophy versus, you know, Western philosophy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's all of these different energies that you know are on this body of the earth. Like, you know what I mean? Just like you said. So, hell yeah, like nah, that shit right there is crazy. And I meant to ask you about that earlier, so I'm glad that you like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it's a good thing to get out and travel, because you get to experience those different energies and environments, and you know how other people is dealing with, you know, that environment or that energy in that area. You know, you get stuck. It's so many people I know that ain't even left Sacramento. You be like, ah, damn, your world's small. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get out and just go look at different areas, see what different people, because you know, you go just from here to goddamn, I'm gonna pick like Fresno, you know what I'm saying? Like a little side town type area. It's different, you know what I'm saying? It's different than Sacramento or, you know, where you used to. So, you know, just to kind of open up that horizon and tap into them. Yeah, exactly. You tap into some different energy, you know what I mean? It's gonna enlighten you a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, that's it's all energy, man. It's all energy work at the end of the day.
Definitely. We got Mariah Clark in the chat. She says you're becoming more aware of what's really worth your time when you're in silence. Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's a fucking fact.
Yeah, that's a bar. That is a bar.
Cause I didn't did that shit on so many different levels. Like, man, I ain't even gonna fuck with that shit no more, bro.
On everything, yeah. On everything. You break it down. Yeah, you break it down to the smallest molecule and you see what it really is. Like, this shit it's been this whole time. Like, and I've been doing this and, you know, wasting my energy, my time, my money with this whole thing. You know, it's just like, nah, like, I gotta let this go. Labels and attack, like all of that stuff, man. It's been programmed in our mind, our subconscious, our conscious since birth, damn near. You know, since we didn't came out. People telling us what this is, what that is, how to act around people, what to do, you know, and that's something that you have to break down and rebuild. You know, it's like you had your chakra system built up by somebody else, so you don't really understand it. You know what I'm saying?
That was far.
And so, you gotta break your whole house back down to the root chakra, and then refigure yourself out, like rebuild it all back up the way that you want it, you know, to be built.
Definitely. Trika said it's hard to receive anything with a closed mind. That's fucking right. It's a wrap. For anybody who who reads the Bible and study a lot of the miracles that Jesus performed, the people, he got permission from the people that he was performing these quote unquote miracles on to do the miracles. Do you believe that I can do this? So it shall be. There's a word, and I don't know how to pronounce this shit, but it's like APATHAAP or some shit, apatha or whatever it is. And I had to put that shit up, and it just says to be open. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, whenever you're trying to grow, you have to be open. Whenever you're like, it's a wrap. And you know, just like when you got a cap on something, that's why niggas be like, nigga, cap, because you're not allowing yourself to be open enough to be honest with yourself. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Oh, so right. Oh yeah, go ahead, take that one.
She said, for the upcoming podcast, can we speak on our DNA and the mitochondria DNA that the women have?
Definitely. That's a whole session right there.
I know that's your bag too.
Yeah, man. I ain't been in that bag in a minute, but that's a bag for sure. That's a bag for sure.
So yeah, she gonna make us free. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna have to run that for sure.
Shout out to we got Ariana Frazier in the building. Shout out to all the Facebook people again that's tapped in, as well as the people that's on YouTube that's tapped in. We highly appreciate everything. If you're on YouTube, can you please hit that like button, share button, subscribe button, all that shit, and keep this algorithm going.
We got a couple of loser guys in the building. What's up with bro?
Oh shit. Archons, nigga.
You got the Archons.
Archons. Here. Shout out to Kimberly Red. She said rebuild the foundation.
That's a fact.
She said that's what cat mean. I thought it just meant hat. It does mean hat. We got the homeboy trader building was popping. Got a lot of my homeboys from my hood that's tapping in and shit. But yeah, no, that cap, it just means that you're limiting things. Like you have a cap, just like if I try to pour out this bottle and the cap is on, it's limited to what it can do. But if I take this cap off, if there's no cap, then it's limitless, right? Until that shit goes out.
Right. Yeah, it's just gonna change form.
Definitely.
Yeah, this man, this Valley Uno in the building.
Look, speaking of the homies from the hood, is tapped in right now. Definitely. Salute. Yeah, anybody that want to come in, we can send a link. Y'all can come in, y'all can spill y'all spill. It's Gucci.
It's
if
good,
you just come in, I don't know if you're looking at what the topic is, but we discussed chakras, and just dealing with them and how they're associated with basically unlocking self, like, you know what I mean, or helping you unlock self.
Journey itself, don't stop ever.
And it's so deep, man, because you know that I'm about to break down Noah's Ark and shit, right?
Yeah.
The real shit about Noah's Ark.
They ain't ready for that, man.
They're not. I have to put together this PowerPoint so I could freestyle it. I could kick this shit all day, but for the people who have been indoctrinated to believe that, what it was is just like, no. But the reason why go ahead.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. Because I seen it. Like he done ran this shit down.
Oh yeah, you seen it. Yeah.
So my thing is there's certain stuff in there that people probably don't even know about. That's my thing. So in essence, the PowerPoint is definitely you're gonna have to have literally every breakdown possible, the definitions, omega, all the whole nine, for them to be able to grasp, certain parts of that for sure.
I think I'm kind of good. I'm gonna drop a seed right now. I'm gonna plant the seed.
Yeah.
And that's what the chakras have, the same colors of the rainbow, right?
Yeah.
When we're talking about getting to your crown chakra, that would be your highest chakra, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has the same. The rainbow has the same 7 regular colors. Roy G. Biv. I know when I say that, that should just trigger you back to when you was in the 3rd grade. Roy G. Biv, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk Roy G. Biv as a kid, Selfmade?
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes down to that, we understand, just like you were saying, that there's different things that's going on with these colors, right? So when you're at the high point, when you're at the arc of something, the high point, hierarchy, matriarch, archangel, right? So then at the end, when the arc is done doing what it does, a fucking rainbow appears, and the rainbow has a fucking arc. It has a top position. The chakras have a top position, and I'm gonna just say that. I'm not gonna say too much, but when I bust down this PowerPoint, I want people to understand that I am not trying to take you away from whatever religious belief that you have, but I have certain questions about. What's good? We got Droop in here too. Hey, let me say this.
Droop in the building.
I'm gonna stop my spiel real quick. Because everybody know I'm from Valley High. Valley High is in the building. I keep on saying Valley High shit, and then Valley High just now. Somebody in Valley High just now hit that fucking lotto and shit too. So we feeling that.
Oh, really?
But I just want to say that shit. But anyway, salute to Cousin O. Salute. What's good, Drew? But so when it comes down to the understanding of what the arc means, and you said it earlier, Self, when you was like, for whatever somebody else is going through, they can't teach you how to be you. You have to teach you how to be you. Mm-hmm. So this is Noah's ark. Like, it ain't nobody else. Yeah. That's why, his kids and shit, like, you know what I mean? But ultimately his kids are still him, but there was nobody else on this ark other than animals of different things, the balance. I'm not going to give too much, but look, let me just say this. For the people who think that there's taking that story for face value, and you want to, because we're going to present this PowerPoint on this station. On this YouTube podcast channel. So if you want to engage with me on this, I don't want to argue. Like, if you want to debate, whatever, but I'm just trying to build. And there's going to be certain, because I already know the story from that perspective. So there's going to be certain questions that I'm going to ask. And when I give my PowerPoint, I'm going to give the answers to the questions that I'm going to ask. Like, you know what I mean? And this is because I argue with myself all the time. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't need to argue with you. I already argue with myself. Like, you know what I mean? So I just want to have a healthy discussion on the level of understanding. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And we kind of dropped jewels earlier about the you understand what I'm saying? So we already know, but it's just like, I want people to just ask themselves this question. It's rhetorical. I'm going to ask it right now. If the reason for this alleged flood was to get rid of the wretched of the earth, then why is there still wretchedness on the earth? God controls all this shit, according to how certain people perceive the Bible. So why would he drown? Let me say this. Drown niggas? Drown niggas.
Why would he drown
niggas? He could have stopped everybody didn't have to suffer. This nigga drowned niggas.
The whole world.
Person? Nigga to
bro, the whole world.
Let me calm down. So my thing is this. If you take that story for face value, I have a million questions for you. And I don't want to cap. I want us to have an open dialogue to where there's no cap. And everything that I'm going to tell you or put together for this PowerPoint is not going to be capped. You can ask me anything, and I'm gonna be able to bust it down. Because what I put in here? I got science, I got math, I'm trying to hit every angle so people cannot say I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? I got so many different angles just so everybody can get it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not what it is. And let me say this. One of the reasons that I'm going to bust it down is because a lot of people, take the Bible for face value, then they run away from it. Like, you know what I mean? Because
that right there.
I was right there. And I was just like, damn, like, nigga, this Bible's fucking garbage. And then when I got into this I am shit, when I started tapping into stuff and making the connections to certain things, I was just like, oh, that's what it means. So you just have to touch it from a spiritual point of view and read it in between the lines. You got to read it with your third eye and not these two eyes, like not on a human level. You got to be on spirit time. You got to tap in.
Yeah, that's a fact. A lot of people do that, man. There's so many people. You start talking about it on a metaphysical level, and that shit goes right over their head, honestly. Or they try to make it seem like, we making shit up or something. But that's the coldest thing about that book. The codes within that book,
Oh yeah. What is it called? Codex Inscriptus.
Oh, hey, we got Krishna in the building. You trying to get in here?
Yeah, I seen him. He said, about the awakening. Hey, please come on with that. Hey, because we didn't even. I'm glad. See, Krishna just come on with that good energy.
Come with right? Yeah, exactly.
Because Krishna, and send him a link so he can come in. But I've had one of those, and I think I expressed it on a book and shit. I didn't say nothing about Siri, but because my Siri popped up.
Get in on this.
I don't know. Wait, what? Let's record that. But let me share my experience real quick. And this is when I am understanding the I am, like not on no, just saying it again as an affirmation. Shit is starting to be confirmed. Like, you know what I mean? So that's when I had my shit, and it was me coming home from work, sober as fuck, at a goddamn at a laundromat of all places. And I'm watching this cat, Kevin Wesley, for everybody who knows who he is. For the people who don't know, he's an ex-pastor that learned that a lot of the things that they teach in the Bible are being misinterpreted, right? So I'm watching this nigga videos and shit. I'm just tapped in, and all of a sudden, a sensation came over my whole being. Sensation. I wish I could explain it to y'all, like, because I'm about to try to explain it, but I really can't.
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to be able to anyway. But the level of bliss that I had when this shit hit me was bananas, right? And when it came through, again, I was at the laundromat, so I'm sitting there and I have everything timed out to where I know that my clothes is gonna need to go from the washer to the dryer and shit, right?
Right.
So I'm still in my bliss when that thing, when it's time for me to change it. So I walk into the laundromat and I feel like if people was looking at me, I would be as white as this goddamn ring light. And but the feeling that I have is just like a pure bliss and love and shit. So I'm naturally smiling and shit, right? And so I'm smiling so much and it feels so good that I almost am laughing, but to myself. So people in the laundromat, it's kind of like, look, fuck this nigga. Like, all right, nigga, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, so after I got out of that energy, because I had to go into a different energy when I walked into the laundromat and shit, right? Other than that, I'm in my car chilling. So when I get back into my own energy, just hella shit just start connecting, making sense, hella shit. And I just start busting shit down. I'm like, bruh, all this shit is, nigga, people is just really me, and I am really them, and everything is connected, and I'm really just seeing the connections down to the smallest molecule. And I'm like, bruh. And I think because it lasted for like a good, I just say like 30 minutes and shit, right? And so I think I hit you that night, and I'm like, hey, bro. Like, what the hell? Hey, have you ever had this shit? Yada yada yada. And I'm just going in. It was just so it was one of those experiences, man, to where it was just like, again, for me, it was confirmation. It was just like knowing, like when you finally put in that work. It's just like having sex. When you put in that work, when you having sex and you bust that nut and you get that, like, you know what I mean? And I hate to paint the picture like that, but it's, you know what I mean? It's just like, I've been putting in this work. I've been doing the work to get to where I got to on the spiritual level. And then that energy came just to let me know, nigga, this is it right here. Got it. It was crazy. I love that. Like, that shit was bananas.
Yeah, that Kundalini awakening ain't no joke for sure. My story, I said that off of the psychedelic episode, but yeah, I had to take a shroom trip and that shit hit me then, and bruh, like that shit was crazy. Just the connections and just everything, bro. Like that shit was profound. I'll say that. Like you said, it's so hard to try to explain in words because it's a feeling. But yeah, once that Kundalini snake hit that top, man, it definitely it's gonna change your perspective and perception of reality that you in. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
That shit, it literally, like, again, because you could be cocky with this shit. You could say, nigga, I'm tapped in. What do you such and such and such, but you really kind of don't believe the shit. Not to say that that's where I was at, but I knew that I was on an honest, journey and shit, like being honest about the past and shit. Like, so when it came, it was just like, yup. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, because them tapped in, like, like you said, if you try to be cocky with this shit, the energy gonna humble your ass faster than a motherfucker, yo.
That's a fucking fact.
You gonna think you on top of the world. Oh yeah, it's me. I'm him. What you talking about? I'm him. And somebody finna come sit your ass right down. Nigga, like, for real.
Yeah. And it sometimes it takes that. I'm gonna keep it a band because I know that there was certain instances to where I was in my super debating stages and shit to where somebody said something. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. Hey, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to go through that. That's like that's like your prelim fights and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you going through it, you practicing. All right, yeah, he hit me with a little, he hit me with a blow real quick. Let me go back and recalibrate.
Right, and see, that's I was going to say, Kimberly Red, she said it's not that we didn't question, it was because we was afraid to question it because of the fear of hell. Now, let me associate that to what we just now was talking about. Sometimes people don't speak because they're afraid of hell, right? And I'm not talking about like hell. I'm talking about sometimes people don't speak because they are afraid to lose. They are afraid to die, right? And so my thing was, nigga, I'm looking forward to this death. I'm waiting for somebody or a group of people or whoever to come and say, nigga, well, what's this on this? That's why I said anybody can ask me any question. There's no cap. We're going to go. But, like, you know what I mean? Just come with some real shit. Don't come with no foo-foo shit. But a lot of people are afraid to accept, something different from what they've been taught. And that's going to kill their ideology. Also, when I say kill somebody or when I'm talking about death, that's the only thing I'm talking about. Like, you know what I mean? But they have to be rebirthed. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that with me, I know you do the same thing. Like, we're expressing it. We're outwardly with this shit. And whatever comes. Like, you know what I mean? If a nigga comes smack my boots off, like, I will thank him humbly. Because when I come back, nigga, it's bananas. Like, I'm coming back 1,000 times stronger. So please come do me a due diligence of knocking my fucking head off so I can come back doper. Like, you know what I mean? So I'll be on that type of time. We got Tay in the building. What's good, Tay? Tay said, he said, what's a Kundalini experience? Well, I kind of, I don't know when you came in, but I kind of gave it like a good breakdown. But when we're talking about Kundalini, then we're associating it with a specific teaching of what this this blissfulness is. So you know what I mean? So if we give you a definition of what Kundalini is, it would just be in the words of people who just understand chakra work. You understand what I'm saying? When somebody can say, well, I've been hit with the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost, like, you know what I mean? And it would be somewhat of the same definition. So if you understand what that aspect of it is, like having that feeling of the Holy Ghost, or, you know, just having that hallelujah, like, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to knock nobody, but you know what I mean? Just that feeling, then that's what it would be. But still, I don't think that everybody that says that they have a Kundalini awakening has it. Just like I don't believe that everybody says that they have been hit with the Holy Ghost have been hit with the Holy Ghost. Like, you know what I mean? So again, and I said this earlier, just like when you come into an awakening, when you activate your pineal gland and it's open, the understanding and the seeing and the looking around and be able to be and see a certain thing is one thing, but able to put on that crown and to walk in it, that's when you know that that person has actually had an awakening, or has had their pineal gland open, or put on the crown chakra, or has had, you know, been touched by the Holy Spirit. Like, you know what I mean? So all of those things are equally related. If that makes sense to you.
So when the voice talks to you, is that an experience? You said, so when the voice talks to you, is that an experience? Is he talking about the Holy Ghost? The third eye opened into the spiritual realm, huh? Well, okay. Now, you know, when somebody catches the Holy Ghost, do they change their life? Like, is their life different afterwards, or like, is their perception on reality different, or do they still have the same kind of perception?
Well, God said you're gonna know the people by their fruit. They better start producing. They better start showing the work.
That's how you know right there, because I mean, people that I know that you know may have caught the Holy Ghost, they reality and how they perceive reality is still the same. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's a in the moment thing. It's a in the church house type of a thing.
See, I didn't want to say that. I'm glad you said
yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there, and I ain't sugarcoat nothing. You know, it seemed like it's an in the church thing. You know what I mean? Because I ain't never seen nobody in Walmart just bust out and, you know, got the Holy Ghost. Like, why is that shit just for the church house, nigga? Like,
that was the coldest bar ever.
that shit real though, right?
Hey,
I ain't never seen that before ever, and that's like you would think, because that's how Kundalini awakenings happen. That shit can happen, like you said. You was at the laundromat, nigga, just boop, that shit just popped off. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you put it. See, that's why I fuck. I know I fuck with you. If any reason, for that reason.
That shit be real, man. Like,
I promise y'all, at the laundromat, sober as fuck, for real.
Yeah, see, the Kundalini awakening is, you know, that shit can happen anywhere as long as you putting in the work, and that's a whole nother thing. Like, to catch the Holy Ghost, do you have to put in any work? I don't know. I ain't never
yeah, that's a good question.
I never caught the Holy Ghost, so I don't know. Or maybe I have caught the Holy Ghost, depending on how somebody explains the shit. But yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, when it comes to that Kundalini, you could be anywhere and catch it. You know what I'm saying? And but you got to put in that work, and it's almost like, you know, what's that? You know, like what is that? Like India, where they play the song for the snake, and it comes out the basket, and it works its way all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that work that we talking about. Like, you have to play that song, you know, for yourself. You have to do that self-tuning to raise that frequency to get the enlightenment at the end. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But
He said, hold on real quick, because we might have to, hey, if you can send Ted a link. Because he said, and I don't want to be disrespectful to the camera because I want to read his response. But he said exactly when the voice speaks and guides you will lead me into my moment of purpose. So my question to that will be, are you talking about a literal voice in your head?
Yeah, that's
and the only reason why I'm asking that is because just so we know, that what I don't want to presume that you're saying that you just be hearing voices and shit. So I want to be real clear about the voice that you're referring to.
Yeah.
But definitely if that may be your, you know what I mean? That may be your shit. Like everybody doesn't have to have the same experience for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, it would just be a question because I haven't had that particular experience. So I would love for you to share that, and I would love to ask you some questions. I like asking questions. I promise you I do. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He said he'll link in 3 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, hell yeah. So before he comes in, and I just want to put this out there. So when we have dreams, right? And we may be in a specific dream to where there may be characters to where we do not recognize them, when we wake up. You understand what I'm trying to say? So there could be total strangers in our dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inside the dream, these niggas got voices. You know what I mean? They probably got a smell. They probably got all of these different things, right? So my question would be is who's giving them a voice? Where does that voice come from? If you've never seen this person, like for real, and sometimes our subconscious mind brings certain things from the darkness into the light, which means the people in your dreams may be somebody that you've seen in passing, and then it just presents themselves, in a dream. You probably saw them for like a quick 2 seconds, but then your subconscious mind collects that data, and then it plays out within the dream. But you did not hear that person speak. So what voice? How do you produce that voice? How did you produce the voice for that? How does that work? And that's
that was like way cold, cause nigga, that shit got me thinking like the way that the subconscious is even perceiving energy, because like I'm just asking now, have you ever had a dream where like maybe like you was talking to animals?
Shit.
Is that a reach? That's a reach.
I wasn't prepared for that one. I wasn't prepared for that.
Some Dr. Doolittle type shit, boy.
And I know that you know that we understand what answering the question with a question means. So allow me to answer your question with a question.
Yeah.
Do you mean that this animal was speaking back and we was having like actual dialogue, or I was just able to talk to this motherfucking shit and I was just talking to him?
Like dialogue. But the only reason why I say that, I not that I can remember either though.
I think I might know where you're going with that, but go ahead.
But just how the subconscious be perceiving certain stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You get in a dream, and like you were saying, you may walk past something. You might not even walk past, per se, another like human, but there's you walking past something that holds a certain type of energy, and it plays itself out in maybe a humanistic form in your dream, so that you can receive it, or recognize it in a certain way.
Yeah.
When you said that, that's what shit came into my mind. I'm like, oh shit, like,
yeah,
that's cold, because now and that's this whole aspect of just reality, the illusionary physical realm, being that everything is actually spiritual.
Right.
And yeah, you going past all these different energies because everything is energy and consciousness. So you moving through this realm of energy and consciousness, your subconscious is downloading all this information daily, you know, that you missing for sure. You know what I'm saying? You're not catching it consciously, you know what I mean? And then to get in a dream, and then you have certain things, even places, you know what I mean? Like you may hit a certain environment, a certain frequency here on this in this realm, and that frequency transpires in your dream as a whole nother place. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's cold, bro. That's some cold shit. That is some cold shit, bro.
Subconscious.
I'm gonna hold you.
So Snag said you just said it the same way you produce the image of that person. It's the voice of someone that you likely heard, even though you didn't pay much attention. Oh, that's a fucking that was a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we subconsciously hear people talk. Like we could be in a bank, 1,000 motherfuckers is talking and shit, and then we on that certain. Damn, that was deep. Hey, Snag. Hey, you gotta come on this. Hey, you gotta come stop in.
What's up with Krishna, man?
What's up with y'all boys, man? What's good? Salute.
Shit,
how y'all boys feeling today?
Oh man, we just chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling, man. I ain't gonna stay on too late last time. Y'all had me up.
None of us is.
Hey, man. Because I was like, hold on, I know he 3, 4, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like 11:30.
Okay,
it's like 11.
Whatever time you got, you know, it's all love. We appreciate that shit for real.
For sure, yo. Y'all could keep building. I'm trying to set my phone acting weird, so I'm gonna get my little spill on my experience in a minute. But let me finish setting up. Y'all continue building.
So we got a couple of loser guys. He said, "Get rid of the human concepts." Hey,
that's a fact. I don't even mess with humans.
Yeah, that's how I fucked up shit to say. Hey, and the reason let me explain. The reason why I say that is because we get on a lot of believers or Christians. I don't want to just Christians, but I get on a lot of Christians that say that they don't put their trust into man; they put their trust into God. But they would never get an understanding of what God is unless it was from man. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So when I hear that, it's just like, because I'll be on that shit too. I'll be on my alien shit too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, man, because you know
sometimes.
But it's just when you hit a certain level, just like
exactly. You got to go through it.
Never catch me drinking a 211 again. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
A 2 beer, I would never drink it again.
Right.
I'm done with that shit. So you know what I mean? So then when you hit a certain level, it's just like, hell nah, bro. Are you insane? 211? Yuck. Like, talking about forward to that shit. No, I'm outer space with that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Real quick, Mariah Clark said, and you're having a telepathic conversations with people and you dream, which is hey. We gonna have to, she gonna have to come in. That was something lit.
That was hard.
That was a fucking. Hey, put that on the screen.
That was hard.
That was lit.
Telepathic though.
Robin in the building. What's good with all the Facebook people tapping in and shit? I super appreciate y'all. Shout this out if y'all can, if y'all ain't too busy.
You say you're not fucking with the steals. Steals.
He talking about the Steel Reserve. He talking about 211. No, I ain't fucking with that shit. Let me say this, and you know, this is just me. I used to fuck with all that shit. Like recently, if we started this podcast, 6 months ago, I would probably have a bottle of Hennessy right now, or a bottle of Remy. But I've tried to cut out all hard alcohol, so I just fuck with Bel Air and shit. You might see me with some fucking wine, maybe. You know what I mean? But I'm keeping shit light. Yeah, definitely.
That's
Yeah, but nah, 11, nah. If I do that, not to say that I'm above it like that, but yeah, I'll probably throw up for real. Like, well, you drunk? No, nigga, I can't handle it. It's a wrap.
Hey, what was I about to say? I was about to say something. Fuck, I be hating when that shit happens. You lose the thought.
Hey, we be so because we in the spirit right now. This is
it's just flowing
with some alien shit. Because you saying about the human, like you don't fuck with humans.
It was something like a dream, something around that, out of this realm type shit for sure. It'll probably circle back around when it's supposed to,
Yeah. But what Mariah Clark said, a telepathic conversation.
Hey, yeah, that's cool though.
Because I know there are certain people that said that they have astral projected, right? Mm-hmm. And they were able to enter into other people's reality, right? Mm. In fact, I remember I was dealing with Laura one time, and she was saying, like, I'm gonna come pull up on you in your dream and yada yada. I'm like, no, sounds good. But I don't know if it's Inception. I promise you, when I went to sleep, I was not thinking about the shit whatsoever. And so she hit me up the next morning and she's like, hey, so what you dreaming about? I was like, oh, that was and I was like, I don't want to go into the detail of the dream, but I was like, oh, wait, what? Like, you know what I mean? I think that I don't think, because I don't think that we're limited. So there was certain things that she was saying that was ultimately in a dream, and I was like, nigga, I know you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
On my dream or something, huh?
Yeah, but it was bananas like that. So I was just like, okay, but again, when you're open, when you're open, like, you know what I mean? There's no cap to shit. Like, there's no limit.
Have you seen yourself in your dream?
Oh, that's a great question. Hell yeah. And for anybody who's going to say something crazy, I'll delete each and every one of you niggas. But I remember I had a dream. I had some long ass hair. I'm like, nigga, my shit banging, bro.
For real. Hey, I had the total opposite. Nigga.
Woke up.
Total opposite, boy.
Woke up, didn't have no hair and shit. I was like, well, bro, hey, let me say this real quick. I have to say this before I go in. If there's anybody who knew me when I had my braids and shit, and if you got a picture of me, I would cash app you $20. My mom used to, hey, when the Irish shit was in and all the other shit, my mom used to braid I used to be nice. Ask anybody. Early 2000s, I had braids. Like, one with braid, nice. Anyway, what's good?
What's happening with the family? Can you hear me? Everybody can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure I'm lined up good. How y'all doing this evening, brothers?
Oh man, thank you for coming in. It's Friday night. We appreciate everybody's energy who's tapping in because we know it's Friday. Y'all could be out doing a million things, but y'all rocking with us, and we rocking with y'all. We appreciate that.
Always, you already know. Always. But to elaborate on that situation we were talking about a minute ago, far as when I move, as you say on the spirituality world. Now I'm not sure what say it again. What's it called? Okay. What you said, right? But often a lot of choices that I'm just it's not just a mentality of the things that I know, but it's often tapping into my spiritual world as far as things that guide me. I call it the voice. When I say the voice, it's an inner voice. It's an inner voice within the head. When I go in silence, almost like a meditation, when we do yoga type thing, you know what I'm saying? And when I close my eyes, when I sit, everything's silent, every light's out. And when I sit and guide, there's typically a voice that would talk to me within my mind, and it'll tell me, and it'll play out either situations or it'll tell me what to do. Sometimes it may even tell me, be still. Because sometimes when you got to be still, it needs, as I believe, the God, the great one, he has to be able to do his work, because if you continue to do your work, you never get a chance for other supernatural spirit realm to take over and let it do what it has to do. So sometimes you got to come to a halt to be able to work in your life. And then when that time, you'll know when is when, and then you'll know lights, camera, action. Now it's on you. If it kind of makes sense what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that was a fact.
Right.
Let me ask you this. When you say
okay.
I'm sorry, was somebody about to go?
No, I was gonna say, as far as and I think everybody in this world tends to have it, but I think it's the voice you listen to. People they say, the devil on this side and God on the angel on this side type thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has this voice that goes into their fucking head. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, especially when you walk in a bank, you see them counting all this money. You done played it out in your head. Damn, what if I grab this and did? You know what I'm saying? You thought of this shit, but do you actually move on the shit? So, what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody has that voice temptation. Whatever you do, don't get in that car. Don't do that. But let it go. That's why when people say, I should have went with my first mind, you already knew the answer to your question before you even knew it. You know what I'm saying? But your own understanding, and you went to the left. You feel me? The same equivalency, the same, this voice would not?
Yeah, let me
moment,
I just want to touch on the last thing I just want to touch on the last thing that you just said. Say, for instance, if that voice does say something, right, and you choose to not go with that voice, ultimately, you would still have to have that experience, because let me explain what I'm saying. Sometimes that voice would be just like your parents. It would be, a higher version of you that has authority of, or I don't want to say control, but I'm gonna say a little bit of authority, right? So if they tell you, hey, you better not go do this, or such and such and such is gonna happen, in your mind, you're still a young mind. So you still either want to have that experience, or you have to have that experience just so you can grow from that experience. So when you choose not to do that, and you choose to go against whatever the voice is, like, you know what I mean? It would still kind of work in your favor. Like, you know what I mean? So, but what I want to ask you is, do you think that that voice is stemming from you, or do you think that there is, like, I guess I want to say like a higher deity? Because I know you gave the example of the conscious, not to be confused with the conscious, but we're talking about the conscience, right? Of the two different energies that we choose to make our decisions. So with that voice, do you think that that's something that that ultimately is us, or do you think that it's something that is foreign of us?
Okay, because I'm a God believer. That's discernment comes in. Discernment would be reckoned from the spirit of truth. You know what I'm saying? So when that speaks, it never lies, and you can tell the difference. Which I've made foolish mistakes because I've listened to voices. Well, I thought it was that voice, but it was actually my own voice. But usually that voice was for a flesh. It was a flesh pleasure, something that I wanted to really do myself. I wanted to do that. That was my own voice saying, yeah, do that. Or the evil voice, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Feeding into the voice that comes from discernment good. It may not even be what you want to do. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes, let's say it like this. Sometimes when something comes in your life and it's something you need to change or grow, right? Sometimes it lies in let's say somebody has a drug habit or something bad. Usually people stay away from that. They don't want to get to that point, make that change in their life. So it lies behind the trial and tribulation that you're going through in your life. You feel what I'm saying? To stay away from it's through that. So even when you go through certain things, there's a silver lining and everything, because a lesson is the blessing. You feel what I'm saying? So even that boy speaks, it may be fucking you don't want to do, but it's part of your growth to get you to where you need to be. But long as you don't listen to that voice that's telling you to need to do, not what you want to do, but what you need to do, look at your life as a timeline. Now you're down here on your alternative timeline. On this alternative timeline, this is where the lesson, this is where the timeout, this is where the bullshit is. This is where all this bullshit happens here. But you listen to that voice, you go right back on track to your purpose, to what you're supposed to be doing. You feel what I'm saying? So I would definitely say through this sermon on your spirituality, I think when you know it's that voice, it has to do with the growth. And it may not be what you want, what you like, though. You feel me? It's not a pleasure thing.
Hmm? That's a definite. Real quick, because I have to. There's new people into the Facebook chat, so we got LB.
Okay. LB's in the building.
LB in the chat. What's good, LB? On Facebook.
What's up with him, man? I see God. Peace.
I see Hills in there was piece of the guys. We got Courtney. Excuse me if I pronounced this wrong, but Heinbach is. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And then we got Ariane Frazier in the building. So yeah, I appreciate all the energy. I salute everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, can I say something to the brother D? Can y'all hear me right now?
Yeah. Do your thing.
Okay, cool. I just want to say something to what you said about the voice that speaks to you, that leads you, that's trying to give you the positive guidance versus the negative voice. And I just got a question for you. I noticed that when you say the negative voice, you say that that's your voice, but the positive voice, you say that is, the higher power or God. Did you ever think that maybe that the positive voice is your higher self and the lower voice is your lower self? You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying that, because why does the negative thought have to be you?
It's yours.
Ooh,
that's what Mariah said too.
I was gonna ask that same shit. I'm glad that
I picked up the frequency, so I wanted to express that. Yeah,
definitely.
Right. And you know what? I think this is. There's a lot that's going on in my life that a lot of people don't know. But as you guys are speaking, when we're talking about the whole rebirth and the whole, we call it the reset button. The reset button. Everything that was before is gone. It's people, things, everything go. So now even, man, blessings to you, my brother. Even understanding, because there's things that I was going through in life, but you guys helped me have understanding to what was going on to my life. So the voice that may be a lot to do with, I believe it is. So it's full accountability for what goes on. Whether I'm to my highest, I'm to my lowest, because I got myself there. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing. I still believe that, again, like a source of energy, there's operator. You understand what I'm saying? So at the same time, I don't believe that I am best in all. You feel what I'm saying? There has to be a frequency to me that even gets me there. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just a vessel. That's all I am. You feel what I'm saying? So as a vessel, you kind of live and learn. And a lot of things that was me when I had voice, because my wants, my pleasures, my, you know what I'm saying? That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to growth and there's certain situation and down that road, I'm gonna go there because I'm the higher self is telling me to go there. But it's not because I want to, because I don't know what's down that road. So I would definitely say, no, that ain't it. You feel me? So the question that I was going to ask, because when
I just want to say this real quick, because we know sometimes we have to go to a lower level to get to the high point, right? So could it also be the higher message you're saying? And I'm not saying it's not you, but what I'm saying, could it also be the higher voice that you're saying that's leading you also to go down that lower path, just so you can have that experience?
Yo,
and I think it's, and honestly, I think it's like a to where, honestly, like you said, you can't wait to get to that point, even if you can't wait to die in that experience, because that's your growth point. You know what I'm saying? Those are challenges you take them from. That could be the sense of me taking it there. Like an incident I just did recently, I fucked up and I made a bad choice and it put me in a situation. But yet and still, I knew it ahead of time. I knew it, but I knew I had to experience that and go through that fucking bullshit to know for sure. Not I needed to know for sure. Otherwise, my mind realms and I don't know what's what. So I accepted that challenge and the results that came after. And now I got it. Going down that fucking road again. But I took that to know that.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You get through it to get to it. You feel me? I'll take that challenge to get to it.
Woon, I noticed that you I peep your science, my dude. Like I fuck with it. You a master of shadow work. Like you big on like the fact that rather you go right or you go left, or if you do the wrong so-called wrong thing or the right thing, it's all leading you to your greater good. And I fuck with that. That shit is deep. I see you real big on that.
I appreciate you for recognizing that. And this is, this is somewhat similar to saying all the time, God is good and God is good all the time. So no matter what the situation may be, you just have to know that. Like, you know what I mean? So when people say that, I don't want people to say that as an affirmation. I want people to say that as a confirmation. Like, God is good all the time. So nigga, no matter what we do,
no matter what you do,
it's lit.
So do you think that certain souls, so what about the souls who just continuously do the wrong thing? Like even though there's lessons in it, what if it's a soul that just continuously do this shit life after life after life after life after life, and they stay in that cycle? Do you feel like they will ultimately correct themselves, or do you think that they would need some form of extra assistance to make that a correction? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I deal with mathematics, right? So at this point in time, you will be talking about a negative energy. So imagine when you keep on adding negatives and negatives and negatives and negatives, ultimately that shit is going to turn into a positive. Like, you know what I mean? So
okay.
So either way it go, like, you know what I mean? But to answer your question more directly, because I didn't want to just play it off on a math sense, but math makes sense to me. But when it comes down to what the purpose is, right? If that person there, because there's a two-part thing to this, and I'm pretty sure Tay would understand when I say this. We have a specific reason of being here, but we also have a choice of how that reasoning plays out, and I'm trying to say that as safe as possible. Like, right. So when we talk about that choice, sometimes we may look at. Let me give you a real time example. Sometimes we may be looking at a chick that's fucking with a dude that treat her like shit, right?
Yeah.
A nigga a dude that has an adoration for women, he gonna slide up and you're like, girl, why is you dealing with that dude? Like, you know what I mean? And so from the outside looking in, it may seem like she's making all the wrong decisions. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But when you get to know her and you get some one-on-one time with her, you're like, oh, you need to be with that nigga. Like he's gonna do it. And it sounds fucked up for me to say this, but he's giving you exactly what you need. Because if he's not serving you or doing any type of service to you, then it wouldn't be there. But he's helping you grow, and a lot of people don't like to hear that part of it because a lot of times, and even my partner Kareem always asks, why do we do things that we choose that we don't want to do? And it's because we may not want to do them because it doesn't make sense on a human scale. We're talking a spiritual understanding. So the spirit moves us to do certain things. The spirit is here to have this experience through this physical body, right? We're just the vessel. But this vessel also comes with senses that allows us to want to have this experience on a humanistic scale as well. You understand what I'm trying to say? So when it comes down to that, to go back to your question, so when that person, it seems like they're going through something that they shouldn't be going through, they're going through, even if it takes a nigga 1,000. Imagine, because I know everybody was in school and they were just like, nigga, damn, you keep failing the same test, my nigga. Like, you just, like, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't do it. No? So,
right.
Either they're, and they could not be smart enough to not pass it. They probably just, I don't feel like doing the work. And that's the work, right?
Within itself, yeah.
That's fire. That's deep, because basically even some of the people who seem to go through the worst shit, or who did a bunch of shit that we would deem to be bad or negative, when they finally do, learn the lesson or pass the test, they be smarter than everybody else.
Fire.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the worst horse becomes the best horse once you act, you know what I mean? So yeah. I fuck with it.
That's what that good book say. The first will be last and the last will be first. Like, you know what I mean? So it's that's why I do with mathematics. The mathematics and shit be crazy, man. But I appreciate you for giving that to me. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I don't even be recognizing my own shit until you say,
for sure.
This nigga
I peep you. I see. I know who you are. You doing the work out here. I see you. And, you causing niggas to become transcendental and to see beyond, you know, what they think it is. You know what I mean? To see the bigger picture, basically. But, whenever y'all ready to, I ain't trying to just.
You got the floor. No, you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
I can share that Kundalini experience with you. I don't know if y'all want to say anything first. If anybody got any questions.
I don't know if you because I shared mine. Selfmade into his, so I don't know if he was you can hear the audio when we was doing it, but I was listening. Okay, but I definitely because I know you be on your shit too, so I believe
for sure. Yo, so I'm gonna just try to explain it like real clean and pristine, like exactly how it happened, but like just quickly. So basically, it was a while ago. I'll say like, damn, that shit was probably like, what is it, 2020? I guess that shit was probably like 8 years ago. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit was a minute ago. But I was meditating with my homie because we used to meditate together like every weekend. I think on like Saturdays and Sundays, we would get together and meditate. We would build on spirituality and shit like that. And at the end of it, we would meditate. And we wasn't smoking, but we was vaping. We had like a portable weed vape, you know what I'm saying? And so we would meditate and hit the vape at the same time. And so we was meditating, and we had this particular meditation where we actually it was a chakra meditation. So each chakra has a certain that goes to it, that activates it. So for example,
okay, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Go ahead.
So for example, the root chakra, the vibration is lum, L-U-M. So it's like you would go lum. You know what I'm saying? And that actually activates the root chakra. And then the sacral chakra is bum, B-U-M. And you will continue bum, and then rum, which is the stomach chakra. And each one has its own hum, which is a certain frequency. And of course, the crown chakra is om. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm glad you said that. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I did this meditation multiple times, but this particular time, I just wanted to do it perfectly. I don't know why. I was like, bro, don't lose focus. Don't forget where you at. So how we did it, we would do each chakra 7 times. So it'd be like lum 7 times, and then go to the next one and do that 7 times. So I'm like, bro, don't lose focus. You know, keep your breath completely steady, like in and out, and just actually visualize each chakra as you're doing it. So I'm like super focused. I'm like, I'm gonna do this shit perfectly this time. Right. And I really did it. Like I was able to maintain my focus. So mind you, each chakra, you know, it means a spinning wheel of light. That's what chakra means.
Right.
Or a spinning wheel of energy. So each chakra rotates a certain direction. So the root chakra rotates to the right, but the sacral chakra rotates to the left, and then the stomach chakra rotates to the right, and then the heart rotates to the left, and it keeps doing this. So it's like gears. It's like one spin this way, then one other spinning that way, and that's how I was visualizing it. So as I was making the root chakra spin to the right, and I went up. When I got to the stomach chakra, on God, bro, like no exaggeration, I literally felt the warm Kundalini energy rising up my spine. And when it got to the stomach chakra, I was able to I seen a yellow dragon, like, bro, it was so deep. It was like I was looking in the mirror, in like a spiritual mirror, but the yellow dragon was me. If that makes any sense. It's like I was looking at myself in the meditation, and I seen the yellow dragon, and it's like it was hovering in front of my face, like, you know how a dragon.
Right.
So I'm looking at the dragon. I'm like, yo, this shit is wild. So I just kept going. I'm like, don't lose focus just because you see this vision, though. So I kept going, and when I got to the heart chakra, the dragon turned green, and when I got to the throat chakra, the dragon turned blue.
Right.
But I realized I started realizing, since I was turning the chakra, when you turn one chakra, just turning that one chakra, it spins the other chakra, because it's like gears. Like you can't move one gear without moving the other gears.
Exactly.
And it's like they all started spinning in unison. So when I got to the third eye, it was a purple dragon, but it was transparent, like I could see through it. And on the forehead of the dragon, it had a 6-point star, which the 6th chakra. It had the Star of David right on the forehead of the purple dragon. So when I'm meditating on my third eye, when I got to the 7th hum, well the crown, the third eye sound is chom, or it's like shom.
Okay.
So the dragon stuck its tongue right in the middle of my third eye, and when it did that, bruh, damn, I'm seeing it right now. So when it stuck its tongue in my third eye, a ball of light came out the top of my head. And it's like I immediately saw myself from above, and I could see my crown chakra on top of my own head. And it was spinning. It was like a 13-point star, bro. And then a ball of light came out at the top of my head, and it was like spinning light in all directions. And so that light ended up encompassing my whole body. Like I had like this white light around my body, and when that white light formed around my body, I was able to expand that light. And it's like I expanded it over my whole city, then I expanded it over my whole state, like Georgia. Then I expanded it over the whole United States, and then ended up expanding this light over the whole earth. And then I became the dragon. Like I became this white dragon. You did. I became a dragon, but the earth was in my stomach. The earth was literally in my belly as a dragon, and I started flying through the universe with the earth in my stomach. And then it's like I would bounce off of all the stars in the universe like ping pong. I was like, bing, 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 bing. And as I would hit each star would become an eyeball. And it's like, then I was just surrounded by eyes. My I was just, at that point, I was just in transcendental bliss.
Damn.
So after that, it's like I had full control over my actual body. Huh?
Damn. So let me ask you this, because I just going to get right into those. So the question is, how do you know?
Before you ask, hold on, say real quick. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna let you go. That reminds me, because I love the movie The Last Dragon. That's my favorite movie. And you get that glow, and then you are the last dragon. Like, you know. So I just want to say,
I don't know if I've seen that movie. I ain't gonna lie.
Old school.
Oh, bruh. Hey, please. For you and anybody else who's in the chat, please watch the movie The Last Dragon, the dopest metaphysical movie ever. And
I'm gonna definitely check that out. I'm gonna probably watch that shit tomorrow.
But go ahead and say my bad.
What was you about to ask me, brother?
I want to ask him when you speak of chakras, how do you know which one is open that's guiding your life the most? The strongest would be the first question.
That's a good question.
That's a good one.
How do you know which chakra is the most open, basically? That's an interesting
the
question.
guides or rules your life.
So I guess the best way I could say that, because each chakra has its own qualities. The root chakra is dealing with survival and, like, you know what I'm saying, getting money and making sure your finances and shit is straight. It's like your primal nature. And then your your sacral chakra is your sexual chakra. So if you always obsessed with sex and all you want to do is fuck, most likely your sacral chakra is way too open. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Your stomach chakra represents your willpower and like your strength to like get shit done, like your action orientated self. You dig what I'm saying? That's your stomach chakra. Your heart chakra is dealing with unconditional love and like how you connect with other people and stuff like that. And your throat chakra is dealing with how well you communicate your truth, because you know it's right above the heart chakra. So you speaking directly from the heart chakra when the throat chakra is, that's when you speak from the heart. That's how you know your throat chakra is open. And then your pineal gland is when you can basically have metaphysical insight where you can see, you know, everybody is you, you know the truth and the bigger picture of reality. You know what I mean? And then the crown chakra is basically when you connect it to the whole universe and to God, you know, your highest self. So I guess, I mean, just knowing which part of the
higher or lower.
Yeah.
Is there levels to it, as far as higher and lower?
So your first three chakras, that's considered
It's better than the other, should I say?
What'd you say? You said, say that again. I didn't quite hear you.
He said there's some chakras better than the others.
Oh, I said like, is there far like levels far as you know, like if it was an elementary stage, you got your first level, your second level, or third grade, fourth grade, one than the other, higher than the other, better or worse, or
I wouldn't say better or worse. They all really work together because you need all of them to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? But if you only are activated in, let's say, the first two or the first three, then your lower chakras are activated. That's not a bad thing, but the higher you, like when you get into the heart and the throat and the third eye and the crown, that's when you get more spiritual and on a higher frequency. The first three chakras is more so dealing with the physical. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, just let me say this. I love your elaboration.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And if you got all 7 open, is that total supremacy? Right. He's good. That's why you know I'm learning. Because I've been picking up on it.
Yeah.
So when all 7 is open, does that create dominant supremacy? At your highest level.
That's when you basically have. Okay. That's basically mastery over self.
I have to study up on all your energy. Yeah, because you know, open up my book to that lately, man. The last 2 weeks.
Right. So so make a long story short, that's what happened in my meditation.
I like it.
After that, I was able.
And does that tie into the spiritual world? Because that seems more. That's the energetic world. Really.
Is it just me, or is his camera like frozen?
He kind of going in and out of his services a little bit jacked up.
Yo, if you can't connect to the Wi-Fi,
right.
It's kind of freezing up.
Yeah.
Hey, you might want to connect to your Wi-Fi.
So we got Courtney Heimbach has a question. She says, let me go back up real quick. My fault. She said, "How do you feel? What leads you the most?" And this is for you, Prince Krishna.
She asked, what the most?
She said, "How do you feel? What leads you the most?" And I'm thinking she's referring to how do you feel which chakra leads you the most. I'm going to guess that she's asking that.
And I think I kind of answered that question a little bit, but basically, you want to out of all of those qualities that I described that each chakra has, whichever of those qualities is most prominent in your life, then that's the ones that are guiding you. You know what I'm saying? If you're more heart orientated and love orientated, then it's most likely your heart chakra guiding you. If you sex driven, it's your sex chakra guiding you. If you money driven,
No, so she was in agreement with you. That question was actually to D. It was like a rhetorical question. My bad, but she was in agreement.
Okay.
And do you know how to equate both of them? Yeah, right. So, do you know how to equate both of them to where they do tie in? How we said you got the energetic world as far as the spiritual world. How do you combine those two together to create total dominancy?
Wow. Okay. So now you're going into a deep metaphysical science that's probably gonna take. I don't know if y'all want me to elaborate on that too much. So basically,
I'm sorry, real quick. Is there chiming in somebody's background?
Yeah,
that was mine. Somebody calling me on Duo. My bad.
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead, brother.
Damn, I'm gonna make it short. So, how do you basically bring balance between, or basically mastery over both the spiritual side of yourself and the physical side of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, but okay, we talked about this last time a little bit, but as far as the separation of the physical and the spiritual is,
let's say energetical. Let's say energy, though. Let's say energy, not just necessarily self. I'm talking about because everything is based. I believe everything's based off energy. So you got energy, you got spirituality. These two combined together create self. You feel what I'm saying? So where do you go to where you can meditate and get, if you get mastery of your energy and where it goes and how you put it and what's going on, and plus your spiritual, and you combine them together, if you can master that, to me, I think you're working with some good shit.
No,
but how do you get there?
You're absolutely correct in what you're saying. I would say that that you cannot separate energy or consciousness from anything because it's everything. That would be the foundation of everything, spirit included. But I see what you're saying when you focus that energy more on the spiritual side. I would say then I understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think he wants to know how to master it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Right. How to master like your control over that energy.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, because displaced energy is what creates negative in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have your energy, shit, it can put you in chaos and turn to bad energy. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to focus it, which we all lose focus sometime.
All right, and I got a simple answer. I got a simple answer for you. I think it's a combination of different lifestyles, lifestyle choices, I guess, in a way. Make a long story short, make sure you constantly exercising to master your physical and eating healthy, but make sure you constantly doing meditation and different breathing exercises to master your energy. You understand what I'm saying? And if you combine those two into a lifestyle and consistently do that, then you'll have mastery over your physical and your spiritual.
Simple.
Yes, sir.
Fire. That was bar. Yes, sir. Sir. No doubt about that.
So we got
absolutely. So do you?
Hold on, real quick. She said, because I like to. I want to make sure we, acknowledge
the chat.
Definitely. She said, when I experienced my Kundalini rising, as I meditated, I started spinning in circles like you're inside a vortex. Woo!
Woo. Damn.
Yeah.
Vortexes.
Yeah, and that's just to add on to that, because I know that that you're going to speak real quick, Tay, but it's just like when we deal with so many different things, start off with the vortex, and it's just the push and pull of both energies, and it creates a circle, like a dance. For instance, like when somebody's either fighting or dancing or arguing, somebody, okay, well, let's dance. Like, you know what I mean? So that dance creates a circle, just like on your fingertips, the crown of your head, how your hair, there's a lot of things that, and that, that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot of things, even if if you tap into the Fibonacci sequence or the number 9, like all these different things have that same spiraling effect. Right, and it's dope that's that you guys were speaking about that, because just like you said with the wheels turning of the chakras, and then that's just like that same, you know what I mean? So that shit is dope. It's right on time.
Facts.
Right.
I love how everything is correlated. This shit is deep, man.
Right. Yeah.
So small sidebar. when I got done with that meditation, or I came out that bitch like. I'm trying to explain to them. I'm like, do y'all understand what I just went through? But anyways, when I closed, for 3 days after that meditation, every time I closed my eyes, I could see my chakras. Like it was like a rainbow inside of me. It was crazy. Like as if I just closed my eyes, I literally I could see my chakras stacked up on top of each other. It was crazy. I just want to put that as a side.
Prince, do you, Prince? Does it give you a different? Okay.
Bro, what you say, bro?
Prince, does it give it a different? I want to know, Prince, does it give you a look in life? Do you see different?
Hold on, y'all talking at the same. I can't really make out. Hold on. First, what was you saying, Woon?
No, because there's a slight delay on Tay's part, so I just want to say this real quick to take a go. But there's going to be something that I'm going to break down, and it has something to do with Noah's Ark. So after the Ark hit, then you see the rainbow. But I'm glad that you're saying certain things that you're saying is giving me the confirmation on the PowerPoint I'm putting together. But speaking like you got, what I mean, y'all. Go ahead and do your
I'm looking forward to that PowerPoint, bro. And it's crazy. We on the same frequency because I'm about to start putting together PowerPoints too, because it's a good way to get your point across and get all the information out there. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely. But go ahead, Tay. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, does it give you a different outlook on life, or what you start guidance in your life? Does it change anything?
I mean, absolutely. I think we all has had Kundalini awakenings, at least on this panel. We all had that shit in different ways where we all look at life different now.
Right.
Like, we don't see shit the same. Like, we see the oneness in all living beings.
Yeah.
We don't see separation anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like instead of looking at everybody as separate people and we all physical bodies, like, no, we're souls. And we're all a part of one great soul.
Right.
So is this Buddhism? Is it about Buddhism? Would you consider Buddhism?
I mean, yes. I mean, you could consider it Buddhism. It's many different. I feel like every religion is trying to say this. Every culture is trying to say this, but they're saying it in different ways. But I would say Buddhism and Hinduism, they describe it the most. Like as far as religion goes, like they embody this concept more. Like they not scared to say it. Like you know what I mean?
You see it too,
right?
Yeah, because it's basically all oneself. It's all oneself. We all one self, different pieces of the same self.
Definitely. So I got shout out to Mike Hill that's in the building. And I'm sorry, shout out Cesare in the building too. You know, we deep, the eye is deep up in here. But Mike, he said use Prezi.com for your PowerPoints, better platform and easily shareable. So I'm definitely tapping to that. Good looking out on that information.
Shoot me that link to that too when you write it down.
Definitely. And then Courtney Heimbaugh says, "What's y'all's zodiac?" I'm a Gemini, and I know that there is, for the people who go.
Yo, I understand you now, bro. It makes perfect sense.
For the people who go like super deep and they be like, "Yeah, I'm a Gemini rising and a such and such, moon and all that other shit." That's cool. I've heard that I'm a Pisces or what was it? A Pisces? One person said Pisces. One person said a Cancer. But either way go, they're associating my moon with water, and I'm not emotional that a little bit. But I'm a Gemini. So just say it like that, and that's why I deal with balance. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm a Scorpio.
I'm a Leo.
And I'm a Libra / Virgo.
I heard somebody in the back who said that. Shout out to the Leos.
That's Bob. Still Leo and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courtney's a Gemini too. What's pop? You know what them gems is like? You know what it is?
Yeah. That's why you be on both sides of the spectrum all the time.
They bipolar. They got two personalities and shit.
Yeah, I try to get that third eye.
It makes perfect sense.
You have to though.
Boom.
You have to, or else you ain't gonna get the full picture. You know what I mean? You're gonna be looking at it from one side, and it ain't gonna make sense like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to get, because I know, and you said something that was real important, Prince Christian, when you saying that you were seeing 13, and I'm trying to tap that 13th chakra because they say that that's outside of the 12. And I'm sorry, not chakra. I totally fucked that up. But the 13th zodiac, because they say it's outside of the 12. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yo, I know exactly what they call it. Serpentarius or something like that. It's the 13th zodiac. That's the Kundalini energy. Damn. See, now y'all making me see some shit that I be trying to. It's too much information. I see it like all of this shit is connected, bro. We all connected. Yeah. We all are every sign at the same time, and the Kundalini energy is the 13th zodiac.
All of them, right?
That's all of them combined, right?
Getting to understanding the self from all aspects, all energies.
Right. Damn, that shit
is cool.
Yeah, I love this podcast, man. This is really free your mind.
Yeah, definitely. And again, shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's chiming in. Again, it's a Friday night. We pushed this shit back a whole day, and the energy is still there.
Yeah.
And, it couldn't be nothing without you guys. I'm gonna just keep it a band, like, you know what I mean. And I'm not trying to say on some We Are the World shit. I'm really meaning that, like, it would literally be
for reals though. It started grassroots style, like, them they're just out of nowhere. And so to have this, popping how it is, like, this is everything, honestly.
Yo, don't think I'm copying y'all when I drop my shit too, man. It's coming soon.
That's what it's for. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in their bag, you know what I mean? And spitting this shit, getting it out there, because that's really what it's all about, man. Is spreading the awareness, helping the enlightenment, go around, spreading that light.
Right. Absolutely. Definitely. So we got Ariane Fraser.
5%. Yes, indeed. 5%.
You guys are doing a good job, and we appreciate you for giving us that, because it's just like, if you could understand what we're doing, you're a part. That means you're already there with us. So we appreciate you on that level. Oh yeah, you could come in. Courtney, if you want to come in, you're good. I'm sorry. Self, did you go in depth on your awakening? No, you did tap in, right? You tapped in.
Yeah, man, I talked about it too, because I had mine on my on the psychedelics. I had talked about that on the psychedelic show. Way more in depth, but but my shit was real though. You know what I'm saying? And them Kundalini awakenings is they no joke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No joke.
It's funny. I think it's something you have to maintain too. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I close my eyes, I don't still see the rainbow. But if I was probably more experienced and like, this is the thing, bro, and this is what's gonna make us so powerful. We in America, we young black men without basically I don't want to say no guidance, but we kind of doing this shit on our own. Like in China and in India, these niggas back in the day, they get to grow up with fucking gurus like, oh, your Kundalini has awakened, son. Now this is what you do. You know what I mean? We ain't got none of that. So,
we got to do it on our own and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, constantly recalibrate and rebalance self.
Right.
Right. But it's just like you said earlier. As soon as we unlock that shit, it's
over.
It's over. It's over. It ain't nothing to recalibrate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting there though, and in the first place is the real work.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What was you was gonna say something, Tay?
I was pondering on he went into it a little bit. He went into it a little bit, but it was more of I'm trying to figure out how to put it. So say like go to the gym. You might want to hit weights. That's work on your bodies. You read to work on your mind. What do you do to exercise your chakras?
Meditation. Meditate. Okay, so all right. This is literally the way I'm gonna make it simple as possible. So there's a certain type of meditation that will literally grow you spiritually. It's called it's not the name of the meditation, but you have to study something called the microcosmic orbit. So the microcosmic orbit is the channel through your body that energy circulates through. Okay. So for example, energy starts in the base of your spine because this is where the Kundalini energy is located. And then that's where it's located, at the base of your spine. That's where the sleeping God within you, so-called, is located. And it's like a coiled snake at the bottom of your spine. But then you're right above. Fuck, you asking some scientific shit. All right. So basically, right here below your belly button, this is called the lower dantian. Right here. This is literally the center of your power, right? So if you meditate and you focus right there, it's called warming the pot. You know what I mean? And what this does is it activates your energy. Now, what you got to do is send this up your spine. So what you do is you look up. When you look up, wherever your attention goes, energy flows. So when you look up, the energy goes up. Then when you look down, your energy goes down. So focus on your lower dantian and then focus your energy going up your spine. And then what you got to do is connect your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And I'm talking all right to the roof of your mouth.
You in your bag right now.
So you connect your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Right. And this closes the circuit. So the energy goes up the spine and over the top of the back of your head, and it comes down. And when you connect the tongue to the roof of your mouth, this actually allows the energy to go through your tongue and come down the front of your body. And then it'll go through your heart and down back to your stomach and back down to the lower dantian. So completing this cycle is called the microcosmic orbit. Every time you complete this cycle in meditation, you gain, you're going to gain sexual energy, because the sexual energy is in China is called Jing, Jing. It's Jing. So this is your sexual energy. So the more you send the sexual energy throughout your body, every time you complete the circuit, you like fill up your pot. You fill up your sexual energy. But eventually, as you do this, so this actually goes along with semen retention. Because if you having sex and you busting the nut and you releasing that sexual energy, then you're losing chakra energy. You're losing chi. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So men gotta learn how to keep they sperm. You gotta keep your semen within. This don't mean you can't have sex. You gotta not ejaculate though. So
oh damn, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make that clear. You could climax without busting the nut, for real.
Absolutely. And
What's that called? It's called
better.
They got a name for that.
I can't remember.
You have to ejaculate, and then this the other one where it's like N-words.
Ejaculate.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, huh? Right there.
All right, so look, just to complete the lesson. Just to complete the lesson. So basically, every time you complete this cycle of the energy going up the spine and going down the front of the body and going back into the lower dantian, you will gain sexual energy until your sexual energy is full. When your sexual energy becomes full, then as you continue to, it's called turning the wheel. Doing this orbit is called turning the wheel. So every time you turn the wheel, you'll once your sexual energy is full, that sexual energy will actually start to turn into chi. And then you got to continue this process until you feel your chi all the way up. Now this is gonna give you that mastery over the energy. Like Chinese niggas who master their chi, they able to really manipulate matter. But it's really scientific. People think it's some magical shit. It's the fact that they're able to project this energy to connect with the energy of the matter that they're moving. It's some deep shit.
Right.
So basically, the sexual energy, the jing turns into chi. And then as you master your chi and build your chi up, it's just keep turning the wheel. And mind you, you don't want to be busting nuts while you're doing this process. Eventually, when the chi is fully full, then the chi will actually turn into shin, which is actually spiritual energy, which is awareness. So your awareness will start to grow. And eventually you'll be filled with both sexual energy, chi, and shin. This is called the three treasures. My bad, y'all. I'm giving this whole spiel on y'all shit.
Hey, that's what
it's about. I guess.
Hey, while you pause real quick, hey, Self, we got Tony Heimbach. She said that she's trying to get in onto the panel right now. So you can't send her the link. Because she said she's agreeing with you. She said that she knows how to turn that sexual energy into so yeah, we definitely
want to get her in
the building. We want to get her in the building.
Yes, sir. So all right, make a long story short, the chi, the jing, the chi, and the shin, these are called the three treasures. So eventually you'll merge all three of these energies together, and this is called the immortal elixir. I'm telling y'all some shit, bruh. This is some shit. This is how you reach immortality. Reference. I shouldn't be telling y'all this. I already told y'all on the last panel though. Read this book called Taoist Yoga, The Alchemy of Immortality. And they'll tell you everything about this. Taoist Yoga, The Alchemy of Immortality.
I got that in my notes.
Bet. So these three treasures will become an elixir. So all right, this is a part I didn't tell you. So remember this location right here, the lower dantian. There's actually a spiritual seed located right here.
What's going on?
There's a seed inside of our body, and what you're doing is you're feeding this seed with these three energies. Oh shit! Ashe Goddess.
Peace. I'm gonna make sure this is
How
working. I can't hear you guys.
Peace to the guys.
Can you hear us? Her service is kind of in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you glitched.
I've been just watching. Yeah, I've been watching and.
Okay.
Okay, give me just 1 sec. Hang on.
And just so we
I'm
know,
actually listening
I know
to.
You're having a delay from us to you.
Hey, that's my energy right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't all the way. I was listening to some this really great chakra meditation. It's like an hour long, but it goes through all of them with the sound frequencies. I'm sorry. Everything's kind of delayed, so I'm getting feedback a little bit, but Okay, cool.
Yeah. But you got the floor.
Okay, cool. So I guess I wish I could see those notes, what I was like writing, but pretty much I wanted to say that when it comes to like men and women activating their Kundalini energies, you have men, which, you know, it's more of a sexual experience kind of a thing, or it can start as that, and that's where we kind of get that energy from to use and harness that and hang on to it. But when I kind of teach people about how to do that or how to start it, if someone's new to it, something that's really good is like dancing. So the movement and that sexual energy of the movement and stuff like that, you know, for females that's really easy to do, but for males it's a little bit harder, you know. But to actually embrace that like feminine energy about it, and then use that into building that sexual energy within you, rather than more of like a I don't know, like a horny sexual energy, like a horny one. I don't know, like a sex one. If you want to think of it more of like a self-love energy. I don't know, because that really helps activate the sacral
like a nourishing energy,
the chakra and the sacral and the solar plexus. That one right there. But I noticed that when you use embrace that feminine energy more and hang on to that, it helps, I don't know, activate that. I don't know what I'm trying to really fully say, but I just noticed that when I teach people how to, you know, embrace the feminine rather than think of it as like a sexual man energy type of thing, to embrace that feminine side of it and use the movement, use the fluidity that you feel, and then helps build from there. Also breath work through that whole, everything that you were saying, breath work, like deep breathing and feeling that, like filling up that feeling high up, and then it helps grow the Kundalini all the way up. So I don't know, those are just things I've learned, but everything that you guys are saying is so on point and just beautiful, and I love hearing it, and it's just so amazing.
Yeah, that's a fact. That was a fact. That dancing is real though. Like I've definitely heard that aspect of how to, you know, help raise the Kundalini is dancing. You know what I mean? So
that's definitely a fact.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
So does everybody, regardless of their beliefs?
Go ahead.
So regardless of it's like beliefs, does anybody in this world have same chakras? Is it?
Yeah. When you say the same chakras, like yeah, like 7 chakras, or like, you know, a root chakra, a sacral chakra.
Right. And in regards whether they believe in them or not, you can have male, female, no matter what it is, everybody has the same exact chakras within their body, regardless whether they to them or not. Do they have them though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay.
Hey, where she go?
Okay.
I don't know. Hopefully she come back. Her service was kind of.
Oh yeah, she probably need to connect to that Wi-Fi.
Right. Shout out to the chat, man. We got my boy Tip in the building. We got Auntie in the building. We got Marla here. What's up, Auntie? Tyrone taps in for sure every show.
He do every time. I be seeing him.
And he watches the whole length, regardless to. I think if we go 20 hours, Tyrone gonna be like, yeah, nigga, hour. I was just like,
right. So let me say this, because one thing is when I try to speak, I try to be the voice, as far as the public voice, what a lot of people want to know who's watching. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm the voice that to be known. You feel what I'm saying? So my next would be far as for beginners, for people who listen to it and they want to get into this, what's a good starting point for them to be able to take part and be involved with the chakras, finding their chakras, opening up their chakras just for a beginner's rate? Because everything you said was advanced. That takes time and, you know, lessons and repetition over and over. You know what I'm saying? So what's a good beginning point to start from?
It's gonna take time. I was just saying, like, it's gonna take time. It's just not like, you know, this is something you could do overnight type of a thing. You know what I mean? Just because like it's energetic work. You know what I'm saying? And like everything is energy, so it's not just you know, looking at it from like a quote unquote like physical standpoint. You know what I mean? It's a lot of other stuff, like he was saying. The root chakra deals with like foundation and survival. So like if your household or your money situation ain't stable, or you don't know if you're gonna be eating tomorrow, you know what I mean? Like then you're still gonna have to deal with that aspect of your life before trying to, you know, start breathing and meditate. Like you can breathe and meditate, you know, and that's gonna help for sure. But as far as, you know, figuring that aspect of your life out and continually, you know, continuously moving up in the chakras to be able to, you know what I mean, unlock these different levels of yourself. So it's all self work. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, eating healthy. You know what I mean? That's also a big part. At least that played a big part in my awakening when it came to Kundalini. Like the foods that I was eating. Once it seemed like once I changed the way that I was eating, my mind and my thoughts became more clear, and you know what I mean, I had a better understanding of just certain things. Certain stuff started to connect that wasn't connecting before, you know what I mean? So it's a whole bunch of different things, you know what I mean, that take place during that awakening period of, you know, unlocking the chakras.
Okay. Okay. So you couldn't possibly start. Say if you were working on your crown chakra, could you start off open up your crown chakra?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Nah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, nah.
Yo, your mind to blow the fuck up or something.
That's like trying to build a house from the roof first. Like just start building the roof.
Okay. So there is levels to it then. Yeah, work your way up then.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying earlier. Okay.
Shit, start with the first three.
I like it.
Shit, I always look at it because it is a reflection of your life. Shit, get your money right, get your root chakra right.
Yeah.
You know, get your sex life in balance, and you get your sex chakra right. You know, get your you know, your power. So with money and sex comes power, but I ain't even gonna go into that. That's a whole nother shit.
Hey, but nah, because look, like you said, the first three chakras, a lot of it is dealing with quote unquote the physical kind of, you know, aspects, the physical desires and stuff.
That was so profound. That was a fucking bar.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then once you hit that heart chakra, that's like the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Once you move, you know, past that heart chakra, it becomes vocal vibration. You know what I'm saying? Like you dealing with your how you speak and how you can relay certain information. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like getting your physical aspect in order, and then once you get that, boom, you can move up into higher, you know, levels of understanding.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So would you say it's right. It's all lessons. So would you say you control the chakra or the chakra controls you?
If you're not in control, then I would say the chakra can control you. You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole point, is like getting in control of that energy. You know what I mean? Because if not, your sexual energy is going to be off the Richter, and you're not going to know why. You're just going to be like, bro, I'm horny all the time. I'm always trying to take some shit down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, about feeling like, okay, how do I get this shit in check? You know, first you got to damn near even realize like my shit out of check. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm doing too much.
And I was
so no masturbation.
I was going to bring up, because I was telling Self earlier that there's a chart. There's a chart that I read that deals with when your chakras are not balanced, and then it shows you when your chakras are, and it's like two different things that they give you. So that was a great question, and I'm gonna try to find it, and I'm gonna try to post it. But I'm gonna get back to you on that, because I would have to search for that motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Understandable. Good shit though, man. No doubt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Tay, do you think you have a certain type of understanding about the chakras? Like after hearing this, what do you think?
I do definitely, and I'm a baby to it. So I'm talking within the last 2 weeks. I actually had just put something on my wall, maybe like a week ago, about the chakra, and it all started from All Blessings Miss Rose Gold, but she let me know, she called me an indigo child, and I kind of, because the purple thing, yada yada. So it made me start reading a little into it, and I read into it. I tried to find out which chakra is open in my life, what's going on here in my life. You know what I mean? So me not really knowing, I would say, far as when we talk about the spirituality and the mind thing, because sometimes when I talk to people, they don't understand, because it's not that I necessarily see people, I see spirits. You know what I'm saying? Everything's on a different level. It's the big picture, not just what's at face value. So usually when you take it into that level, often people are kind of lost in the situation. So you say mastery of self. To me, that's the biggest thing in the world that you can conquer. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you know how to control those situations and never allowing people to pull you out of character or control this or control that, me, that's the ultimate. That's where we're always tempted. If you feel what I'm saying, to pull us to the left or the right, because if we find out our powers within ourselves and realize who we are, then that's dance at his whole, to where you are the master and the god of your own freaking life here. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I feel that, like Bulletproof Monk, that's real. You know what I'm saying? The dodging bullets come with that immortality. You know what I'm saying? The whole touch, last dragon type thing, that's that whole idea, but it all comes through, as you guys explained, meditation.
Right.
But when I do meditate, that's where I crossbreed at. Because when I meditate, I'm thinking, what do you meditate? Because when I meditate, I think of, it all has to do with life, money, and riches. But to me, that's small portion. That's a small portion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So without meditation,
in this life.
Right. And that's what I've been getting a lot of. Every sign, through every book, through everything that I'm looking, it's pointed to that. And that's what I'm wondering, is that me without knowing? Damn, that's me. And like how would you say Last Dragon? Who's the master? And he said, I am. He didn't realize like he's seen his whole life for projection. So while I'm casting out and saying, okay, this is what's guiding me over here, not even knowing, Dante, you've been guiding yourself the whole time and you don't even know it. Right. And that's where I'm at, and you guys are helping me see the bigger picture rather than giving to something else, giving power and energy to something else that rules my life. You know what I'm saying? Rather than myself. You know,
and it's dope that you say that because and you're asking some great questions, and I have to let you know that. Because
thank you, Chief.
Again, and I might have said this earlier. When it comes down to the chakra work, sometimes we do it without even knowing that we're doing it. So the chakras is another expression of, just the work that we're doing from making the transition from thinking on a human scale to going to the spiritual, right? So that's all that is. But it's giving you a guideline that you can see for yourself if you're in that understanding that language, in order for you to at least recognize what it is, so you can have an understanding, so it can push you to wherever you're trying to go to.
So if you believe it, you can achieve it type thing. If you can see it in your mind, visionary, that's what's the higher you, should I say? If it's the vision that pops in your head, that is you. But now you have to find out how to get to you. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Right there. Because at that point in time, right when you say this is me, but shit, you got to put in that work. And so that's when you get the chakras. They give you kind of like a guideline, like, you know what I mean? Kind of like a formula, to if not to follow, to understand. Like, you know what I mean? Because you may see it, you may be like, hold on, wait, that relates to something that I was already doing, but I didn't understand why I was doing it. So it just
I
gives
was
you
doing right.
understanding of, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Would you say more than it's the life that you live, your experience, teacher, or would you say this is more footwork, far as you have to read and get the wisdom to know about it, or would you say it's life experience, or is it the reading and understanding that would get you closer
Always
to that point?
Always experience for me. For me personally, it's always experience, and then what you read would be confirmation. And the same way how I'm speaking about the chakras and how you can read it to understand it to give you confirmation, I would give that same energy to the Bible. Like, you know what I mean? Because now it's just like, okay, because I don't think that you can understand the Bible without putting in a certain level of work or having a certain level of experience or life. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
if you didn't have an experience, then you'll just be reading this shit like, what is this? You know what I mean? But when you simply, just tap in and you be like, oh shit, it's telling. And that's why it ends in revelation, because it's revealing to you something that you've been doing the whole time. You just don't know. Like, you know what I mean? So the end is revealing confirmation. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, that was a bar. Definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
Do I make the real? I made the real just now?
Man, that's what you do. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I see. No doubt. Nothing but. No doubt. I mean, even after our show's over, that's what my young man said. You know what I mean? For beginners ring. And I wrote down some of the stuff you said, the pronunciations, should I say. You know what I'm saying? Because when that I read. So again, that was a confirmation to what I already had read as affirmation, and you brought it to confirmation. So there's truth there. That's the truth. You feel what I'm saying? So for beginners, that's all that piece of body, because my mind's always rapid. You know what I mean? It's always 1,000 things going down. So it needs to be calm so I can stay focused and see which direction to go in, because I'm seeing thousands of directions at the time. But I decide, is that a good or bad? Kind of like this water. Is it half full or half empty? It's a, should I say? Is it perception how you see it?
Yeah, it's perception, but with intention.
Okay.
Why do you want to see it how you're trying to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Because there would be a reason for you to see it how you see it, but you would have to ask yourself, well, why am I looking
Seeing
to see
it like that
anyway? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. It's all making sense, man. Now y'all bringing it to light and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? That's a collective, should you say? Yeah. No doubt.
Yo, sidebar. Have either of y'all watched the documentary on YouTube? It's called The Africans of Southeast Asia.
No.
No.
Man, put that in y'all notes. I'm telling you, y'all gonna fucking love that shit, my nigga.
What's it called? Say that again.
The Africans of Southeast Asia.
Was it?
That shit blow anybody mind. If you black and you want to see watch some shit that's gonna blow your mind, that shit'll blow your mind. No cap. That shit revealed to me.
And where can I find this at? Where can I find?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
And where can I find YouTube? Oh, okay.
On YouTube, just type in Africans in Southeast Asia. Yeah. It should be like an hour and a half long or some shit. That shit, these niggas predicted. Man, I ain't gonna blow. Y'all gotta just please when y'all get a chance to watch that shit.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna tap in for sure.
That's how I found out that I was the future Buddha. My name, they call me Nigga Junior. Yeah, I'm Nigga Junior, man. I ain't even supposed to tell niggas that. Ain't time yet.
I'm gonna have to tap in, man. I'm gonna have to tap in, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yo, what year was y'all born?
Right.
What'd you say?
What year was y'all born? Starting with self.
I'm 1992.
92. And what about you, Woon?
82.
82. Okay. And what's your name?
Yeah, and I'm 78.
78?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm 91. 91.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Oh, 91. 91.
Okay. I feel it. So does that tie in with the what is that? The zodiac? As far as the like me, I'll be the year of the horse. Does that tie into it?
Honestly, I ain't advanced enough in zodiac astrology to even give you that answer yet. That's what I gotta spice up. I mean, I know my zodiacs, but I don't know it to that degree yet to give you that answer.
Yeah,
as far as the year that you was born. Oh, see, yeah, I don't know about none of that.
That's a good question, though. I need to find out why.
Yeah.
You said the year of the dog.
I think I'm the year of the dog.
Okay, see,
I don't know why, but I'm gonna tell y'all the next time we on. Be like, hey, look, this is nigga rough, nigga.
Hey, is that like that? Is that like that? How the Chinese have like different animals for the?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think mine was the monkey.
Okay. Yeah, and I think you, and it's funny because you said that because I look it up, and if I'm correct, you're the dragon. So when you were seeing the dragon, and you was the dragon, you're the dragon in their
oh shit,
I ain't even know that. Crazy.
Yeah, so that I guess that's a form of self. Yeah, finding yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit is amazing.
So have you seen this vision again? May I ask, or was that just?
So that was the only time I seen the dragon like that vividly. But honestly, I don't think I've meditated on my chakras as intentively as I did since then. I just been, it's like I feel like that set me on my journey to learn everything else that I learned. But I might need to tap back into that dragon, as you say that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I know I'm the dragon.
Right.
I want to. I really want to get into martial arts. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's something there. Gotta get into martial arts.
Right. Okay, it's calling you. That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I need to find out mine. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's that martial arts, karate, all that. That's kind of like how Courtney was saying when it comes to dancing and awakening the Kundalini. The martial arts is like that same type of thing. Yep, like Fred said, the Tai Chi, all of that is, the energy, understanding your energy within your own vessel. You know what I'm saying?
My bad. One last plug. I don't know if this video still exists. Look up John Chang on YouTube. Man, this Chinese dude really can catch shit on fire with his hands. This how much mastery he got over.
I seen that.
You seen that shit?
Yeah, I seen some shit like that. I seen. I be looking at that shit and I just be like, I seen this one dude. He had some shit in his mouth. I don't know what it was in his mouth. He had something in his mouth, like packed in his shit. Like that nigga's mouth was wide open, but he had some shit packed in there, and he was just sitting there like breathing. And then all of a sudden, that shit just hit hella smoke start coming out of his mouth. And then the shit caught on fire, and then the nigga like spit this shit out. But I was just like, what the fuck was that shit? Like, was there some shit in that damn stuff that he had in his mouth? You know what I'm saying? He had the whole monk suit on and shit, you know what I mean? So I could see the temple and shit behind him, but I was just like, I don't know, like that should be a trip, bro. That should be a trip.
Yeah. I'm trying to tap into
what was the name of that?
Oh, John Chang. I think Ching is spelled Cheng.
I got you.
Yeah. It should be like a 10-minute video, maybe. This Chinese dude, he heal people and he can like project chi through his hands and shit. Nigga, wild boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all good, Dave. You gotta You know what I'm saying? If you got a slide,
Yeah.
man, appreciate you.
I'm finna have to
coming through.
Yeah. If you guys are still at it in a minute, may I return? I'll return in a minute if it's okay. Because I gotta go handle this business. But
yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
hey, yeah, bro. Till next time, for sure, man. We said we're not gonna keep this show.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
We ain't
keeping it. It's 10 o'clock. By 10:15, we should be out of here. We're gonna have to set the ley lines. Woon, we're gonna have to set the shit up.
For real.
No doubt. No doubt. Okay, my brothers. Y'all have a good night.
All right,
peace.
Peace.
Yeah, Tay, man, the questions that Tay came in with, you know, and again, just like we were saying, it's a dance, man, and he was coming with questions we were able to answer. Then, like, you know, and again, and he recognized that he was asking questions just not from a personal perspective, but he was speaking for, you know, for the crowd, and that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That was dope. That was super powerful.
Yeah, it was. It definitely had a good dialogue, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Kept the flow going. Definitely kept the flow going.
I feel like this is a super powerful podcast, and it's probably the only of its kind, because who else is really doing a podcast where niggas is building to this degree on spirituality and just mastery itself?
Hey, Woon, didn't we say what did we say? How does podcast on the West Coast right now? I mean, at this point, you know, when it comes to the East Coast, because I know they got, you know, Sarnetta and Black Magic 363, and you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Black Magic sometimes, but you know, it's not as heavy on this frequency, you know what I'm saying? They're not talking on it like this.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know, man, because just like there be certain instances, you know, that they, you know, would put certain energies out, and you know, you grasp onto that energy, but you know, sometimes for certain people who they deal with, and not to knock nobody, but I don't think it's a lifestyle like that. So then that leaves room for deviation, just a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But each and every one of us knows that, you know, that this is a lifestyle. So it's hard to deviate, you know, from that shit. Like, you know what I mean? We stay within this frequency, and that's why it's going to be powerful. Like, you know what I mean? So, man, it's crazy.
That's a fact. Right. Hey, Courtney asked, where y'all from?
Mars, baby.
Yeah, I'm from Sirius, you know what I'm saying? The Sirius beat. Nah.
Right.
No, I'm in Cali.
Yeah, I'm from South Sac for sure.
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Definitely.
Ohio.
I grew up in Georgia. I've been in Georgia since I was 14, but I'm actually from Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, 14. No, yeah, you still got some. Yeah, you got some footwork in. Yeah, you got footwork out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I appreciate y'all boys, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm addicted to this shit. I probably should have left like fucking 25 minutes ago. But this shit be goddamn too deep, man. Like, shit. I appreciate that.
That's how it be, bro.
It's hard to cut off because we in it. It's hard to cut it off. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Niggas gonna have vivid ass dreams and shit. Niggas flying in their dreams and shit. Like, bro.
For real. But shit, I'm gonna go ahead and take it down, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll possibly tune in to the next. I'm damn near the fucking third co-host on this bitch now. I need to check out.
Right? Seasoned in.
For sure.
Right. Hey, yeah, appreciate you, bro. Till next time, man.
All right, till next time. Peace.
Right, peace.
Yeah, man.
Another episode down, huh?
Hey, I was not expecting this. I'm gonna keep that a buck.
Hey, I'm glad you said that.
I was not
like, hold on, wait, what?
I was not expecting that for the show, bro. You know what I mean? Like how it started, you know, we was rocking, and then they just came in with the shit. Like, oh yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's that.
That was a vibe for real.
Type shit. And it's you know, again, shout out to everybody. Let me open this app back up because I don't know who's in here. But shout out to everybody who was on the Facebook. I finally was, you know, playing the Facebook and this YouTube. So now I get to, you know, super shout out both of everybody. Like, you know what I mean? So super salute to everybody who chimed in. Y'all are super dope. Love the energy, love the questions for sure.
I had to open up your Facebook.
Yeah,
I was like, nah, because mine gonna funnel in the comments. You know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah,
I'm like, yeah. That way we can be able to chime with everybody else.
Gotta work that kick out somehow.
Bay Area in the building, Washington in the building.
Yeah, we had a lot of different people from a lot of different places.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
We get it looking like it's spreading.
Yeah.
Losing Gods is in here, you know what I'm saying?
That's
share the video out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it, comment, subscribe to the YouTube, you know what I mean? Help us push this out, you know, get it to more people that's trying to, you know, free their mind.
And that's what we're about, man. And you know, again, because I have to drop this. So again, when I drop this, you think I should drop it next week? Should I just go ahead and just
the PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint for the truth about no part?
Yeah, run it.
Yeah, I think I'm like, yes, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. Because I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't going to rush it. And I still don't feel like I'm being rushed if I drop it next week. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop it because you guys have been like just super rocking. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it together, and it's gonna be so dope. And this, I promise you, like, you know what I mean. I'm gonna put it out there to where people are gonna understand it. There's a lot that was said tonight that's, you know, there's gonna be confirmation for that. So if y'all was chimed in tonight and you understand what we're talking about, you're definitely gonna get the PowerPoint in which I'm gonna present, and it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, but, YouTube. I just dropped the YouTube in the comments for anybody that is trying to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So yeah, y'all should have that.
Oh, okay. Oh man, we still got Robin in the building. I see you, ladies.
Yeah, they've been chimed in, man. This was a good one, bro. This one was. I mean, we gonna be saying that after every episode. Man, this was a good one, man. This one powerful. Like, it's all powerful. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how we rock, man.
Definitely. We got Deshaun Miles in the building. Deshaun Miles in the building. Was good, boy.
Yeah. This is one. This is another one for the books, man. Number 6?
Is this the 6th one?
Because
right.
We finna lose count in a minute, man.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Yeah, I mean, it's already natural, but it's just gonna be like, yeah, another episode of Free Your Mind Podcast.
Yeah, right. So next week we got the PowerPoint, Noah's Ark.
Yeah,
busting that down.
Yeah.
We probably gonna have to get LB or Dante or somebody in here to ask the questions, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, Tay's good at his position, and I'll say that just like I was talking to Rose Gold. Shout out to Rose Gold too, because she be chiming in the shit too, and she was seeing how, because me and Tay was having a debate yesterday about because I didn't present my PowerPoint, but I just was letting them know that's what I was going to do, and she was like, "You guys, the energy that you guys play off of each other, it kind of works because he asks specific questions that's going to, you know what I mean, and then it's vice versa." So, I love the dance, man. I love the dance, like, you feel me? Because comes in for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But yeah, so yeah, if I don't think LB might come in, he might stay in the chats though. I'm not sure. He might stay in the chats about it.
I ain't even seen him in the chat. Like,
he was on there on the book. He was there.
He was saying something, or he was just like, you seen him in there.
You want to know what?
Because it'll show you like, oh, this person joined the live, but
yeah, he was for this time. He was for sure watching. I know last week he was actually asking questions, and
we didn't even see it. Yeah,
so I couldn't respond, but definitely.
Right.
We get Kareem in there too, or just anybody who wants to get a difference of perspective from other than what you've been taught, or what what you've come to know.
Right.
I promise you, it's not. I don't have any negative intention. So when I bust this shit down, it's just gonna be like dope shit.
Yeah. I look forward to that, man, because that shit gonna be so hard. Like
manners.
And it's for the records too. So you know what I mean? It'd be a reference. Like we got references now. Like, look, go watch this podcast. Oh, go watch this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like for reals. We got some good topics for the next, couple of weeks too. Mariah with the DNA and the Eve gene and mitochondria DNA. That's gonna be a good one. I was finna hit on it today, but because of the the subject matter, I'm like, all right, let's just gear it. You know what I'm saying? But the spiritual and physical, pretty much there's no physical, it's all spiritual.
Ooh.
That's gonna be one for the
books.
Gonna
be one of them ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of them ones, man.
Because you can see it. I seen it a little bit tonight as far as the like disassociation in a sense. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the physical and the spiritual, not knowing that the physical is the spiritual and it plays the same types of roles. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one. So
I was gonna say, don't give them too much because that's gonna be show. I was about to open up, and I'm like, nope, we gonna
nah. That's it. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Y'all stay tapped in.
Yeah, for anybody. I'm sorry, just real quick for anybody who, again, like if you want to come on the show or if you got a topic that you want to be discussed, just tap it in. Hey, did you put the email into the chat? If you did, boom, right there. Okay, so if not, because we got through YouTube in the comments, here in the Facebook in the comments, DM us directly. There go to the email right there. So if you guys got any topics that you want to talk about, we're open, baby.
All the smoke.
Yes. 24/7.
We want all the smoke.
And again, it's just to help free minds. Free your mind. We the Free Your Mind podcast, right?
That's what it is, man. That's what we about. We appreciate everybody for sliding through and fucking with us, man.
Friday night.
On a Friday night, though.
Let me say this. Because I was gonna be a little cocky earlier, like nigga, we lit. But but it's the energy that we're putting out, and people are receiving it just like that, and they're on the same frequency. So y'all is dope. Like y'all, man, this shit is so lit.
It's gonna find the ones that it's supposed to find. You know what I'm saying? It resonates with the ones that it's supposed to. So, we couldn't do it without y'all. We appreciate y'all.
For real.
He said, "Why I gotta be smoked, man? I'm just playing, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to smoke, no."
Oh. Hey, the smoke comes after the fire, baby. We got to get it lit.
Yeah, we're going to have to turn it up one time. You know what I mean?
In the building. What's good?
Yeah, what's up with it? We're going to have to get Neff on here, man. That's what we're going to have to do.
That be bringing that fire, too.
He going to come with the smoke. He coming with that. Hey, you see, that's why he responded to that comment right there.
That one in particular.
In particular, he coming in with all the smoke.
What's good? We got Tina Cole in the building. How you doing? Salute.
All right.
Yeah, man. So that's another one for the books, man.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like right on time because just like we said, we weren't gonna go that 6, man. We've been some 6 champs. Like I think that's a majority. 6.
I know, bruh. Damn, we gotta have those. The 6 ones just gotta be for the ones that we just can't stop. You know what I mean? Like that shit just go. Cause I know how it be.
Yeah, definitely.
She said, "Woon, are you Josh manager?" What you mean? manager?
Nah, not at all. I don't.
I don't know. Like music? What
like music, like or what? Like nah.
Yeah, she had been talking to me about music, but nah.
Okay.
I don't have no music manager. Well, I'm my own music manager. He said, hey, I've been watching. Right, what time? See, I knew it. I knew it.
That's what
waiting for that keyword, boy.
Y'all gotta come bless the channel one time, man. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. That's gonna be a lit one.
But yeah, nah, Courtney, nah. I'm definitely not a we just like we've been vibing out ever since we met. So we just I don't even know what to call that shit.
Right. Yeah, nah, but hey, oh, we got T in the building.
Yeah.
What's up with T? But yeah, nah, man, this is this is it, man. I don't even know what else to say. This was lit. Appreciate everybody again for sliding through, messing with us. Till the next one, it's gonna be fire. Yeah, enjoy your week. For Your Mind Podcast. This is a wrap.
Peace.
I'm out. Peace.
Always going up, you can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us. Always going up, you can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us.